clean the eyeglass shop Monday night. Then I got to go to Tampa on Tuesday. So, all right, so we give praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. But you will not come to me that you might have life. And I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, and you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, but not the honor that come from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? Shalom, Migo. All esteem and praise to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. What's happening with you, man? Shalom, man. What's happening with you, Dante, man? Shalom, Sister. All right, y'all. Hosea chapter 2, verse 14. Let's get to it. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her. And I will give her vineyards from thence in the valley of Achor for a door of hope. She shall sing there as in the days of her youth, as in the days when she came up out of the land of Mizraim. And it shall be in that day, saith Yahuwah, you shall call me Ishi, and you shall call me no more Baali, for I will take the name of Balaam out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. And in that day I will make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of Shamayim, with the creeping things of the ground. Shalom, Jess. I'll break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and I will make them to lie down safely. And I will betroth you unto me forever. Yea, I will betroth you unto me in righteousness, and in judgment, and in loving kindness, and in mercies. I will even betroth you unto me in faithfulness, and you shall know that I am Yahuwah. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will hear, saith Yahuwah. I will hear Shamahim, and they will hear the arats, and the earth shall hear the corn, the wine, and the oil, and they shall hear Jezreel. Come on, Hosea 1 and 1 all over again, man. 1 and 1.
The word of Yahuwah that came unto Hosea, the son of Beri, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Yehuda, in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Yasharal. The beginning of the word of Yahuwah by Hosea, and Yahuwah said to Hosea, go take unto you a wife of whoredoms and children of whoredoms, for the land have committed great whoredom from Yahuwah. So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son. And Yahuwah said unto him, call his name Jezreel, for yet a little while, and I'll avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Yasharal.
Now he say he gonna avenge the blood of Elohim that souls on the house of Jehu. 1 Kings 16 and 1. 1 Kings 16 and 1. Come on with it, man.
Then the word of Yahuwah came to Jehu, the son of Hanani, against Baasha, saying, for as much as I exalted you out of the dust, and made you prince over my people Yasharal, and you have walked in the way of Jeroboam, that made my people Yasharal to sin, to provoke me to anger with their sins. Behold, I will take away the posterity of Baasha and the posterity of his house, and will make your house like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. Him that die of Baasha in the city shall the dogs eat, and him that die of his in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. Now the rest of the acts of Baasha and what he did and his might, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Yasharal?
Not written in the book. Shalom, Jay. The Chronicles of the Kings. What verse you in right now?
That was verse 5.
Now keep on rolling with it.
So Baasha slept with his fathers and was buried in Tirzah, and Eli his son reigned in his stead. And also by the hand of the prophet Jehu, the son of Hanani, came the word of Yahuwah against Baasha and against his house, even for all the evil that he did in the sight of Yahuwah.
All the evil that he did.
Him to anger with the work of his hands, and being like the house of Jeroboam, and because he killed him.
Hold on. Now this is Jehu you're referring to. This particular prophet, he was they did him dirty. They did him dirty. Now, let's see what else we need here. Now I want you to come on around here to 2 Kings chapter 10. You pick it up at verse 1. Remember, because you got one Jehu who ended up being king. He's not avenging his blood, but he's avenging the blood of this particular prophet who you see mentioned right here. Again, in verse 7, at the hand of the prophet Jehu, son of Hananiah. Hold on one second. Oh, wrong book. I think I mentioned what his name meant the other day. But if I didn't, again, this is who is he? Now remember, this is a prophet. He prophesying against this man for what he did. Now you remember, Baasha is in a particular line of men, of wicked men, if you would. Now, 2 Kings chapter 10. 10 and 1, man. Let it go.
And Ahab had 70 sons of Samaria, and Jehu wrote letters and sent to Samaria unto the rulers of Jezreel, to the elders, and to them that brought up Ahab's children, saying, Now as soon as this letter come to you, seeing your master's sons are with you, and there are with you chariots and horses, a fenced city, also in armor, look even out the best, and meet up your master's house, and set him on his father's throne, and fight for your master's house. But they were exceedingly afraid, and said, Behold, 2 kings stood not before him. How then shall we stand?
That's right.
And he that was over the house, and he that was over the city, the elders also, and the bringers up of the children, sent to Jehu, saying, We are your servants, and will do all that you shall bid us. We will not make any king. Do you that which is good in your eyes. Then he wrote a letter the second time to them, saying, If you be mine, and if you will hearken unto my voice, take you the heads of the men, your master's sons, and come to me to Jezreel by tomorrow this time.
About this time.
Now the king's sons, being 70 persons, were with the great men,
Rohan was at it,
which brought them up. And it came to pass when the letter came to them that they took the king's sons and slew 70 persons and put their heads in baskets.
They did what now?
They slew 70 persons and put their heads in baskets and sent them to Jezreel. And there came a messenger and told him, saying, They have brought the heads of the king's sons. And he said, Lay you them in 2 heaps at the entering in of the gate until the morning.
That's right.
And it came to pass in the morning that he went out and stood and said to all the people,
You be what?
Righteous. Behold, I conspired against my master and slew him. But who slew all these? Know now that there shall fall unto the grass nothing of the word of Yahuwah, which Yahuwah spake concerning the house of Ahab. For Yahuwah have done that which he spake by a servant.
Remember, he told Ahab that he would kill everything that pissed against the wall. Go ahead.
So Jehu slew all that remained of the house of Ahab in Jezreel, and all his great men, and his kinfolk and his priests, until he left him none remaining.
And he arose
and departed and came to Samaria. And as he was at the sharing house on the way, Jehu met with the brethren of Ahaziah, the king of Yehuda, and said, Who are you? And they answered, We are the brethren of Ahaziah, and we go down to salute the children of the king and the children of the queen. And he said, Take him alive. And they took him alive and slew them at the pit of the sharing house. Even 42 men, neither left he any of them.
And when he was what?
Departed thence, he lighted on Jehonadab, the son of Rechab, coming to meet him. And he saluted him and said to him, Is your heart right, as my heart is with your heart? And Jehonadab answered, It is. If it be, give me your hand. And he gave him his hand, and he took him up to him in the chariot. And he said, Come with me, and see my zeal for Yahuwah. So they made him ride in his chariot.
And when they became
to Samaria, he slew all that remained unto Ahab in Samaria till he had destroyed him, according to the saying of Yahuwah, which he spake to Elijah.
Now we could read about him killing all the prophets of Baal, but that would just be for fun. But let's go back to Hosea. You can read that on your own time to the end of that, of the killing all the prophets of Baal. And maybe we'll revisit that, since he said, I'll take the names of Balaam out your mouth just for fun. But remember, he said, I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Yasharal. Now, there was a lot of things Yasharal had going on. A lot of idolatry. Matter of fact, nothing but idolatry. You know what I'm talking about? But now we're going to turn around and look at this in this aspect, right? Look at verse 5 of Hosea chapter 1. And it shall come to pass that what?
At that day that I will break the bow of Yasharal in the valley of Jezreel.
Now tell them what a bow is, man.
Sheath, a bow for shooting, or the iris, the arrow, a bow.
Now he said he's going to take the bow, will break the bow No, I don't. I don't appreciate you doing that. And break it in the valley of Jezreel. What you think this means? What you think this means? Now we got a few things I told you to focus on, especially dealing with the grace and mercy and the sons of God. You know what I'm talking about? Now, there's a brother this evening. I guess he got mad because people didn't want to talk about what he wanted to talk about, and it was funny because he's talking about me and my homeboy. He don't even believe in the Bible for real. You know what I'm talking about? He was like, they tell people to quit their job if they force them to work on the Sabbath. See, nigga, I think I told y'all this before. People get mad at me a certain thing, man. Man, y'all gotta stop being hoes, man. Golly. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop being a hoe. When I say hoe, I mean stop being a coward. Stop being weak. Stop being scary, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good look for a grown man to proclaim to fear God and love God, and some funny looking individual tell you that you got to work on a particular day that you tell others is a sanctified day, that a day that matter of fact, get that form real quick, man. Let me show you how backwards the thought process is, man. Exodus chapter 20, right? You can pick it up at verse 4. Now, nigga get mad because I'm not telling you what to do. I tell you what the words say do, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not working at all, under no circumstance. Now, I don't have that problem because I don't answer to no man as forth as working. But if I was on somebody's job, bro, they talking about, you got to work. I ain't got to do nothing but stay black and die, nigga. That's all I got to do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to do nothing because there are a multitude, nigga, they did not stop making jobs when they made yours. You know what I'm talking about? They did not. But that's not even the point of why I say that there, right? Because I'm different. I'm disrespectful when it comes to certain things because once I told you what it is, man, that's what it is. See, I can't speak for other people, man. You can ask me to, I cannot be persuaded and convinced to do nothing that I don't want to do. Because when I told you no the first time, it's going to be no on the 75th time you ask. It'll be no on the 75th, 100th time you ask. I will not get weary. I will not get tired. Because, nigga, I don't want to do that, and I'm not doing it. I don't care who you are and what you talking about. There's only one person above or under heaven that could direct me to do anything that I don't care to do, and his name is Yahuwah of hosts. Outside of that, man, I wouldn't give a damn what none of you niggas talking about. If I don't want to do it, I ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is most people are unaccustomed to somebody being that firm if they tell you no. You know what I'm saying? Because most people feel like he'll change his mind. He'll change his mind. I'm not changing my mind. Shalom, Mother Rome. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? I have not done it in 45 years. See, we're just having this conversation. I'm using this in the work because I'm having a conversation with other homeboy about leadership. And his idea of leadership is why it's piss poor leadership in the earth now. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what he believed his idea of leadership was? Just the ability to teach something. Just the ability to influence somebody to do something. I told you before, that doesn't make you a leader. Like how we use this cliche phrase of, if your friends do, don't be a follower, be a leader. You not being influenced to do something stupid does not make you a leader. It just means you're not a dummy. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think in reality that most people have any idea of what leadership is. Leadership is not just telling people what to do. You know what I'm saying? Leadership is not just the ability to, well, everybody doing this, so that doesn't make you cannot follow the crowd and be a terrible leader. You know what I'm saying? You can lead yourself, but may not be able to lead others. Shalom, Brother Marvin. Like, seriously. Like, it's skills to it. And the reason why it was in my brain, because especially, and this is no disrespect to women, most women believe simply because a man is born a man that he is a leader by product of being a man. And he is not. The book does not say train up a child in the way that they should go and they should not depart for a reason. Leaders are cultivated. You know what I'm talking about? They're trained. They're instructed. You know what I'm saying? Truth be told, it's a skill and an art. And see, we're not just talking about leading your old lady. When you're talking about galvanizing a group of people together to work together, for one common cause. Oh, that takes a multitude of different attributes and skills that most men don't have. And they don't have them because they just are incapable of doing it because no one taught it to them. You know what I'm saying? I know people who in the word, I know people who are in business who are exceptional instructors and terrible leaders. You know what I'm saying? Terrible at it. Now, the ones on the business side of things, they more so acknowledge that, hey, I do this and do that so I can be a better leader for my team. You know what I'm saying? Some men don't want to acknowledge that, hey, I could be a better leader for my team and this, that, there, and the third. You know what I'm saying? But that's because at least with black people, I can't speak for white people because I'm not around white people that often anymore. You know what I'm talking about? On a day-to-day basis, on a personal level. Most black folks think leadership is just telling people what to do. Or I'm teaching you, so therefore I'm leading you. You know what I'm saying? Shalom, Brother Mark. And it's not. That's just instruction. Is instruction a part of leadership? Absolutely. But does that alone make you an effective leader? No, it does not. And I mentioned that because that goes back to what we were talking about maybe a week or two ago. When I'm like, if you're a leader, you can't stand in front of your subordinates crying. You can't stand in front of your subordinates and show any manner of weakness. Can you show some manner of humility? Absolutely. And you have to pick and choose of what level of vulnerability that you're choosing to show, even though vulnerability by definition is showing a form of weakness. Now, all weaknesses is not bad weaknesses. You know what I'm talking about? But when you have a group of people who have to have confidence in you and your ability to guide them to the accomplishment of a goal, you can't show that to them. It will weaken and overthrow their trust in your ability to guide them. And this is what people don't like to admit with leadership. If someone is leading you, you trust their ability to guide you and to instruct you and to galvanize you, meaning to motivate, to be able to get the whole group to work together to achieve this objective. And if this nigga showing some type of mental and emotional fragility, it can damage the morale of the entire group. You know what I'm saying? Like, just that simple. This nigga cannot be in here weeping. He can't. I'm telling you, I'm talking about, and I ain't talking about just with no woman, man. It could be 75 men he leads. And if he walk in this room and this nigga in here crying, it can overthrow the morale of all it takes is 3 to 4 people morale to get in it and spread like wildfire. Remember what your law say, if somebody be fearful, what he told you to do, lead him to the house. You know what I'm saying? Because he could overthrow the courage of everybody else. See, we like to live in this idealistic world of how we wish or want people to behave versus the reality of how people behave in real life situations, man. Because in real life, if he go to weeping, you're not going to be like, that's a strong man. That's a great leader. You're not going to say that. You know what I'm saying? You're not. You would want to think that you would, but the reality is you're not. You're going to be discouraged. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? And it's a hard balance and it's a difficult task, but it is what it is if that's what you sign up for. You know what I'm talking about? But come on with the Exodus 24 for the whole niggas in the Bible.
You shall not make unto you any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in Shamim above, or that is in the rats beneath, or that is in the water under the rats. You shall not bow down yourself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahuwah your Elohim, am a jealous Elohim, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me.
That's right.
And showing mercy unto thousands, and of them that
showing mercy unto who?
Unto thousands.
Unto who?
Unto thousands.
Who do what?
Of them that love me and keep my commandments.
They keep his what?
My commandments. Okay. You shall not take the name of Yahuwah your Elohim in vain.
Run.
For Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless that take his name in vain.
You know, if you around here screaming that you serve Yahuwah and you breaking the Sabbath, you make that man's name worthless. For those who are not aware, I know some of you are aware. I got to make it plain. Proverbs 30:1. So you know what it means to take that man's name in vain. People will say, oh, you said, God damn, don't take his name in vain. That's not, number one, God ain't his name. Elohim ain't his name. Elohim ain't his name. That's a title. And when you look at damn, that's to curse something. When you curse something, that means you have indignation or hatred towards it. You know what I'm talking about? By definition, if you want to know what it means, words have meanings. Not Negro interpretations of what things mean. Because if you say, man, I hope God damn that bill, that means you want him to have hatred towards it and not bring it to pass. You want it to be cursed. That's what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? If you said that about a graven image, you're going to be thinking, oh, he made my name worth. But that's what you've been told making his name worthless is. Not that you proclaim the name of Yahuwah and you live in contrary. Now you just made his name have no power and none effect. But don't worry about it. Proverbs going to tell you 30-1, man. Let it run. I actually got you in the wrong place, but it's okay. I mean, too high, I should say.
The word of Agor, the son of Jakeh, even the prophecy, the man spake unto Ithiel, even unto Ithiel, a new call. Surely I am more brutish than any man, and have not the understanding of a man.
I don't have the understanding.
I need to learn wisdom, nor have the knowledge of the Kadash.
I ain't got knowledge of nothing.
Who have ascended up into Shamayim, or descended? Who have gathered the wind?
Who have what?
Who have ascended up into Shamayim.
Well, we know he said, what if you see the Son of Man go back to where he was before? What else?
Or descended.
Well, you know he descended into the depths. What else?
Who have gathered the wind in his fist.
Who have what?
Who have bound the waters in a garment. Who have established all the ends of the arrest. What is his name? And what is his son's name, if you can tell?
If you can tell.
Every word of Elohim is pure.
He's a shield.
Unto them that put their trust in him.
He's a what?
He's a shield.
Now let me tell you something, right? If you had a job, bro, them people talking about we gonna fire you if you don't come to work this day. You don't believe this man a shield to you if you trust in him? You don't believe that? We just heard the man say he showed mercy unto those who keep his instructions and love him. So you mean to tell me that if you stood for this man law that you tell everybody to keep on an everyday basis, you pick on every Christian about Sunday's not the Sabbath, but you taking your funky behind the word because you scared to lose your job. Nigga, you's a hoe. You know what I'm talking about? And I said it. I don't care who don't like it. You can unsubscribe. I don't give a damn. You niggas hoes, nigga. You niggas need to stand 10 toes flat and be a doggone man, bro. God damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. This is what I mean by how could you sit here in front of your family, in front of your friend? When I say your family, not just your old lady and your children. I'm talking about your mamas, your aunties, your cousins, your granddaddies, all these people you telling about the Sabbath, and you talking about, yeah, I had to go to work because, you know, it's lawful to do good because, you know, my boss won't let me off that day. Don't you know them people looking at you like you's a hoe? They not going to tell you that, though. But they don't respect you as a man. Men stand on what they stand on no matter what. Consequences be damned, nigga. I'm not moving off that, nigga. I said what I said. I'm not doing that. The minute somebody can persuade you to do something because you fearful of losing it, bro, you not a man, bro. You're not a man, bro. Men don't have no fear of losing something over compromising his principles, his value, and his honor. Once you do that, you're not a man no more, bro. You's a hoe. You's a buster. You's a coward. You's a sucker for the rest of your life. You is on certified sucker time. You need to get you a watch so it say sucker time every time you look at it. You know what I'm talking about? Like straight up and down, man. Like, I don't even know who raised some of y'all, man. Because, boy, I wasn't raised to do that before knowing anything about God's word, bro. I no man who ever taught me to compromise my integrity and my honor and what I stand on because I could lose something. I was never taught that a day in my life, man. You know what I'm talking about? Like, nigga, you's a certified buster. You's a buster. Shalom, Sister Gwen. You's a buster. And that's the problem with most of our people. Y'all niggas do hoe stuff and niggas make excuses for it for being a hoe. So when somebody come around and tell you, nah, bro, that's not what men do, you think it's something wrong with him. Nah, bro, the people who taught you was stupid. Man, you never compromise your manhood, bro. Ever. For nobody. For nothing. Everybody will run around here with that quote from Scarface. The only thing I got is my word and my balls, and I don't break them for nobody. But I mean, that's your manhood, bro. Your manhood is everything that you built your life on and what you stand for. The minute you compromise what you stand for, you're not a man anymore. Like, do you understand that, man? You're not a man no more. Why would I listen to you when all somebody got to do is threaten you with unemployment Peace, Brother Joseph, man. Like, man, and that's just bigger than just a job now. You still focus thinking I'm just talking about just a job. You're gonna miss the whole point, bro. I'm telling you, man, y'all is my witness, boy. I wasn't raised like that, bro. I can't recall anyone in my entire youth ever telling me to compromise my manhood because you might lose something. That's the coward's way out, man. Now, how y'all gonna say you kings and priests of Yahuwah and warriors of Yahuwah and you taking the coward's way out? Because cowards are afraid of confrontation. So you afraid to confront your manager about your job? Nigga, bump this job, nigga. Didn't this man tell you take no thought for your life? So you mean to tell me you don't believe in God then? You see, they don't like when you get 3-4 layer deep with that there, man. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just telling you the principle how I see it. You can do what you want to do. I know what the words say do, though. And you can't tell somebody to do something that you're not doing. Or when you do when it's convenient for you. If you do stuff when it's convenient for you, you triple a hoe. You's a triple hoe. I'm talking about a shrill, deal, mark, bust. You definitely can't call yourself a man when you only ride when it's convenient. But you supposed to ride all the time. All the time. But you know what them niggas want to do? Though, let me out. Let me out, though. That's what you is. You Trey, nigga. Let me out the car. I thought you was a gangster. I thought that was going to be how you was up. Man, let me leave these people alone. Continue. Proverbs chapter 30, man, verse 5. Listen to what the man say again now, man.
Every word of Elohim is pure.
So live.
He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him.
Absolutely, amen.
Add you not unto his words, lest he reprove you and you be found a liar.
Two things
have I required of you.
Deny me.
Them not before I die.
Remove far from me.
Vanity and lies.
Give me neither
poverty nor riches.
Feed me.
With food convenient for me.
Lest I be full.
And deny you.
And say.
Who is Yahuwah?
Or lest I be poor.
And steal.
And what?
Take the name of my
No, and what? And steal. Ain't that one of the command 10 not to steal? Mm-hmm. And then he say, and to take the name of my
Elohim
in vain. Now you done made the man name worthless. So this is what, go back to, hold on. Isaiah 48:1. I know some of y'all already know this. I need to put this on the floor. We need to put it on the floor. You know what I'm talking about? Shalom, mama. We need to put it on the floor. You know what I'm talking about? Get it off the floor, man. Get that bread. Go ahead, man.
Say, hear you this, O house of Jacob, which are called by the name of Yasharal, and are come forth out of the waters of Yehudah, which swear by the name of Yahuwah and make
swear by the name of who?
Of Yahuwah.
And make mention
of the Elohim of Yasharal.
But not
in truth
and
righteousness.
Oh my God, today.
So they called them.
He said they make mention of his name and they swear by it. He said, but not in the mob, not in the Muna, and not in Zadok. You taking the man's name in vain. One more on general principle. Romans 2:17. One more to hammer the point home. See, and it's not just, I understand I'm mentioning about the Sabbath, but what you going to do when these people come to threaten your life, though? Well, I don't want to die, so. Man, I don't want to hear that, man. These niggas hoes, man. You know what I'm talking about? See, and this is what I mean by, if this man was leading me and he said that, I would leave. And I would never return. Because I know he's a coward. Because you're telling me to take the weak way out. And then you trying to use book to justify. Well, you know it's lawful to do good on the Sabbath day. That man was talking about healing people, blood. Healing people. You not doing good by going to work. And you trying to use your family as an excuse. You know how weak of a man you got to be to try to use your family as an excuse because you too much of a coward to stand on principles, man. Stop using your children and your old lady as an excuse because you a buster. Stop doing that, my nigga. That's not manhood. That's just sucker stuff, man. And see, it appeals to other suckers who too much of a coward to stand on principles also. But you say, I'm trying to heal people at work, and I still don't work on the Sabbath. Now, see, this man work in a hospital. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he was to say I would go to work and I'm doing good on the Sabbath day, he would have a legitimate claim. He would have a legitimate claim. Because he's actually serving people for the benefit of their well-being. Nigga, you work at Costco. Nigga work at a warehouse talking about he doing good. Nigga, you running a pallet jack. Nobody but yourself. When you're doing good, that means you're doing good ministering to the benefit of someone other than you. Then you know the crazy part is you got to feed your family. You don't even get paid. You don't even get paid that. It'd be different if you got paid that day and you needed money for some groceries. I could dig that, blood. I ain't gonna lie. If you needed $120 for some groceries and you know you went to work and you was gonna get $150 and they was gonna pay you that $150 that day, I could see that, blood. Nigga, you not gonna get paid till next week. My God, today. The word of the day is don't be a hoe. Be a man, bro. Don't be a hoe, man. Be a man. And when I say hoe, I'm not saying that in a derogatory. I'm from the South, man. I'm from Florida. That means you a coward. You're weak. You're soft like wet toilet tissue. Softer than drugstore cotton. You know what I'm talking about? You're tender. Go ahead.
And behold, you are called the Yahudim, and rest in the law, and make your boast of Elohim, and know his will, and approve the things that are more excellent, being instructed out of the law, and are confident that you yourself are a guide of the blind, a light of them which are in darkness, an instructor of the foolish, a teacher of babes, which have the form of knowledge and of the truth in the law. Therefore, which teach another, teach you not yourself? You that preach a man should not steal, do you steal?
You taking pill stuff don't belong to you, boy?
You that say a man should not commit adultery, do you commit adultery?
Boy, is that your old lady? That ain't your old lady, boy.
You that abhor idols, do you commit sacrilege?
That nigga got an altar for Baal in his living room.
You that make your boast of the law through breaking the law,
you do what?
Elohim.
My God, today. Go ahead.
For the name of Elohim is blasphemed among the Gentiles through you, as it is written.
As it is written. Come on back to Exodus 20. And that's all you got to just consider, man. But like I said, man, you got to be a man, bro. You got to if you don't believe you who is able to provide for you, what we got going on, man? What we really got going on? Exodus 20:6, man. No, man, that's serious, bro. Because it's not about going to work on the Sabbath per se. It's about the inability of some men to stand 10 toes flat for what it is that they say that they stand for, that they believe in, that they live by. Like I said, I don't understand it because I was not raised that way. I was not taught that way. My mama didn't teach me that. My auntie didn't teach me that. My daddy didn't teach me that. My granddaddy didn't teach me that. My auntie didn't teach me that. My uncle didn't teach me that. None of my big homies or cousins, I never learned that. I've never seen it. I don't even know what that type of thought process looked like. Some people say, well, you sold drugs. I didn't never have no integrity against selling drugs. You know what I'm talking about? I never walked around and say, I would never do that. That is abhorrent to my sensibilities. Because then that would be different. That would be compromising yourself. You know what I'm saying? You cannot compromise who you are and what you stand for under any circumstance. Because once you do that, then you're not who you thought you. The compromising of, see, when we talk about compromising, we talk about compromising your ideals, your virtue, your honor code. As Pac put it, your code of etiquette. Once you do that, who are you? Who are you? That means you don't even know who you are. You say, as Brad Pitt said in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, don't cry in front of the Mexicans. Don't cry in front of the Mexicans. Go ahead, man. No, that's for real, man. Because you have to realize that, man. You have to gird your mind. This is right. Because we could probably read Luke 12. But remember, he say, man, don't fear him who can kill the body. He said, because after that, that's all that they can do. But fear him who can kill and cast the body into hell. I say, fear him. He say, don't be no worried. Not a hair upon your head shall be harmed, because they all numbered. Now, why is he telling you this? Because in the face of lethal opposition, some people will compromise what it is that they believe in and what they stand for. You know what I'm saying? That's why he say, what does a man gain if he save his life? If he gain the whole world and lose it. That's why he say, he that save his life will lose it. And he that lose his life will save it. You know what I'm saying? You have to remember this one key component. You can't kill something that's already dead. So if you have taken up your stake and you have crucified yourself and been buried with a Mashiach in a baptism, then how is it possible for anyone to kill you when you dead to sin, dead to the flesh, and dead to the world? What could they do to you? Why are you fearing a natural death when you know that's coming anyway? Whether it be of old age, whether it be in a car accident, whether it be from a bullet wound, whether it be from a tree, because this actually happened, a tree falling over and smashing your car. That's why I don't like to ride down Lim Turner Way going to Callahan now. I won't ride through there when no storm coming. I don't like riding down this road here, to be honest with you, because them trees can stab anytime. Boy, that tree fall on your car, that's a hell of a way to go, boy. You know what I'm talking about? But at the end of the day, we all got a day. So I don't know why you got fear of the inevitable. Meaning, I don't know why somebody could put a level of fear in your heart for you to compromise what it is that you own when you know that you're going to die anyway. Let me tell you something, man. If a nigga shoot you in your head, bro, and you die instantly, them shooting you 16 more times ain't going to do no difference. You already dead. You don't feel none of it. You ain't seen none of it. You don't know what's going on. So what does it matter? My God, today. Go back to Micah 6 real quick, man. Read me verse 9.
So Yahuwah's voice crying to the city, and the man of wisdom shall see your name. Hear you the rod, and who has appointed it? Are there yet the churches?
Hear the who?
Hear you the rod.
Hear you the who?
The rod.
And he that had what?
Appointed it.
Okay.
Are there yet the treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked, and the scant measure that is abominable? Shall I count them pure with the wicked balances, and with the bag of deceitful weights? For the rich men thereof are full of violence, and the inhabitants
thereof. That man say, should I count you righteous man, and you got a bag full of deceitful weights, man? Come on back to Exodus 20, man. We'll get back to the main key component. That's just on my brain, because bro went off on that. Like, that's supposed to make me feel bad. Nigga, I stand on that. Nigga, I'm not going. And we'll read Acts 5 when that man said we ought to fear God rather than man. Meaning I should have more reverence in. And I've been to you this here, man. Of course, y'all know this. I've been to jail. I've been to prison. Niggas got more fear for jail and prison than they do for going to hell. Meaning you got more respect for the punishment. And I know why people have more respect for the punishment, because it's a punishment that you can actively see. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to, it's really about the mentality and the thought process you have, man. Like, come on, man. Where is the courage at, blood? Good God. It's quite saddening to say the least. You know what I mean? Go ahead, man.
And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
Showing mercy unto who?
Unto thousands.
Now remember that, because he said he'll betroth you unto him in mercies. That we've read continual and multiple verses that him speaking of him being merciful. So you mean to tell me if you stand for his word, man, you think this man not going to show mercy on you? That's what you telling me? Go ahead, man.
Shall not take the name of Yahuwah your Elohim in vain, for Yahuwah will not hold them guiltless that take his name in vain.
Go ahead and tell them what vain means, man, just in case they thought I was making that up. And you have to remember that it is of no benefit or profit to you to proclaim the name of Yahuwah and live contrary.
That's shab, that's uselessness. This is vain, false, lying, vain, vanity.
You make this man name useless. You make it useless. You saying keep the commandments, but you an adulterer makes this man name useless. You screaming keep the commandments, but people go to see you go to work every Sabbath. Make this man, it take the power away. Y'all have mercy on us all, man. One thing my mama told me several times, which you've heard me repeat also, that when your words match your actions, it gives your words weight and power. Your words have to match your actions. If your words don't match your actions, your words have no power. They have no power. You know what I'm saying? Your words mean nothing. So when you proclaim the name of Yahuwah, but your life don't match that, it makes his name useless. It makes his word useless. And he says he's not going to hold you guiltless for doing this. You know what I'm saying? Taking his name in vain, because you know the Jewish people that say his name is too pure for you to utter, and so that's taking his name in vain. And then of course you know the Negro myths and wives' tales and fables about it, but it's just as simply as saying to Yahuwah, say do this, but you over here doing that. You done made his name worthless. That man gonna come see you by that. That man, because what that boy say, my name is my name. You know what I'm saying? So when he say he's self-existing and self-sustaining, merciful, gracious, abundant in goodness and truth, long-suffering, showing mercy on the thousands, forgiving sin, iniquity, and transgression, and you around here doing X, Y, Z, well, you just made my name useless, man. And that man feels just like what that boy said, my name is my name. And that man told you that in Ezekiel 36. He said, you have called my name to be blasphemed. He said, let this be known. I don't do this for your sake. I do this for my great name's sake, because I need to make sure that these people know it's power to my name. They going to know who you is. They going to know I'm not to be sized, played with, or disrespected. You know what I'm talking about? Read me Psalms 4 and 2, brother. My Lord. And I can understand that, because let me tell you something, man. You can't combat everything that everybody say about you, because depending on how many people talking about you, it could be a tireless endeavor. You'll drive yourself crazy. But the reason why you'll drive yourself crazy is because of one thing. See, the book tell you a good name is. I'll just expound on that once he finishes here. Go ahead.
Said, "O you sons of men, how long will you turn my esteem into shame? How long will you love vanity and seek after leasing? Say loud.
How long is you gonna love that civic? How long? Come on, give me Proverbs 22 and 1, then Ecclesiastes 7 and 1, if you would, sir. Proverbs 22 and 1, let it run.
A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches.
A good name is rather to be chosen than what?
Than great riches.
A good name is rather to be chosen than what?
Great riches.
And what else?
And loving favor rather than silver and gold.
Loving favor rather than what?
Silver and gold.
That's why he say you better lay your treasures up in heaven, man. But listen, man. Some people don't care about their name because they didn't do anything to build their name. What I mean by that, some people don't care about people besmirching their reputation. Some people don't care about people saying X, Y, Z because you're not an individual of integrity of any sort. So that wouldn't offend you. See, someone who is an individual of integrity that has who has lived their life of maintaining a pristine reputation through word, deed, actions, and truth, they take anything that besmirch that as extreme disrespect. You know what I'm talking about? And they usually will come at you in a very, very direct and harsh fashion because of it. I'm mentioning this because this is how Yahuwah has came at it when he said, I will not hold you guiltless. Do not play with my name. You know what I'm saying? Don't play with my name. Some people not on that. You know what I'm talking about? And because listen, right? When it's two things that I done learned, man, and been dealing with their word, man. Number one, whole niggas gonna talk about you. And they gonna put all type of things on your name. You know what I'm saying? That's just what come along with the territory. And you just have to deal with it. Don't mean you care for it. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to counteract. How do we know this? All the things they call the Lord. You don't think that man want to say, oh, nigga, you got me all the way messed up. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, who you think you talking to? Who you? Nick. You know what I'm saying? But that's when you have to remember what Jacob said. I'll let my righteousness speak for me. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm saying that because on the flip side of things, people who value integrity, virtue, and honor and live by it, they take that as extreme disrespect. So if man take that as disrespect, how you think Yahuwah take it? You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that for a moment. How you think he take it? Now, the reason why I mention this is because in general, I would probably say 93 to 99% of people do not care about their name. You know what I'm saying? Meaning they don't care if people throw smut on their name. Not because they don't feel the need to counteract, it's because they don't value integrity, reputation, values, and honor. They don't value that. You know what I'm saying? So they don't care. See, not caring what somebody think about you and people throwing smut on your name is two different things. You know what I'm saying? I will say this here, 99.9% of the time, when people throwing smut on your name, they ain't going to throw it at you direct, though. They ain't going to do that. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be subliminal with it. They're going to tell it to other people. They're going to go ring around the roses with a pocket full of hoses. Nigga, they ain't got no point of niggas hoes, man. And that's when you get to the point that I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You say what you want to say. Reason why I say that, because when you know that you live by godliness, integrity, virtue, values, principle, and honor, my life gonna speak for me. So sucker nigga, say what you want. Make sure it tastes like a 5-star dish in your mouth so you can go to hell with them words that are spewing out of your esophagus. You punk bastard. May them same words that you spit up be jammed back down your throat for your own destruction. This is what the word teaches. This is what you have to learn. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't saying it's going to be easy now. But that's what you have to learn as a matter of self-control. You know what I'm saying? Because your natural inclination is, nigga, don't you never disrespect me like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to want to defend yourself. And you're going to want to speak up for yourself. You know what I'm talking about? Because you got, no, don't play with my name, bro. I'm mentioning this here because I know you understand this from the natural standpoint. And you just heard this man say, anybody take my name in vain, I'm not going to hold you guiltless. You blaspheming my name amongst the Gentiles. You know what I'm talking about? Should we, what I got you hold? Ecclesiastes 7:1 before we go to Ezekiel 36. And that's not serious, bro. I've been called all type of things, some to my face. And guess what? I ain't give a damn. You know what I'm talking about? Because I know what I will do and what I won't do. You know what I'm saying? I know what I've done and what I haven't done. So you can say whatever you want to say. You know what I'm talking about? And you can think whatever you want to think. Nigga, what that junk mean to me? What that boy DMA say, you probably don't know the records. Y'all probably didn't listen to Rough Riders Volume 1, man. But that boy said, if I was to let people tell me how to feel about me, then I guess I really wouldn't be dead. Nigga can't tell me how to feel about me. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, then I'm not me. I become whoever you feel like I should be. And you have to get to the point that, what does it matter what people feel about you or think about you or say about you? What does Yahuwah say about you? And what does he think about you? That's what you should be concerned with. Everything else will flow how it's supposed to. Said, had to check my supervisor last night about his blatant disrespect. Yeah, something you can't do that, man. You know what I'm saying? That junk can't be tolerated. You know what I'm saying? In some instances. In some instances, if people with blatant disrespect, you just remove yourself from their presence. Like permanently. Like, nah, we good. We good over here. Nah, we good over here. You know what I'm saying? We good over here. Yeah, because there's a lot of things I don't get involved with. It has to be direct. You know what I'm saying? One thing I ain't never doing, I ain't never calling nobody asking, did they say this or say that? Because I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I ain't doing none of that. But if you disrespect me directly, I'm gonna say something to you. Outside of that, I don't care. I don't care enough. I don't care enough to do an investigation. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I don't care enough to do an investigation. No, I mean turning the other cheek is not correlating to checking disrespect. Because when they slapped the Lord, he said, man, if I did evil, fine. But if not, what you hit me for? You know what I'm saying? See, people taking checking disrespect. They don't be checking disrespect. They be spazzing out. You know what I'm saying? Wanting to get violent. There's a way where you can let someone know your behavior is unacceptable. And then that was not the proper way to converse with me, to speak to me, to dang, what's the word I'm looking for? It's escaping my brain at the moment. You know what I'm saying? To direct your words to me, none of that. That will not be tolerated. Or if you did this here, hey, I do not appreciate that behavior. When you did this here, this is how that behavior caused me to think, feel, or respond. This is not the proper way to interact with me. If you continue to disrespect me in such a fashion, I have to take appropriate action. You know what I'm saying? That's what we were talking about the other day. You have to have a level of maturity when things happen to be able to maintain professionalism, to let someone know that their behavior is not acceptable. You know what I'm saying? Reacting in an emotional fashion and wanting to get violent and cussing people out, AKA crashing out. You know what I'm saying? That's when people like turn the other cheek. Nah, man. But the reason why I say this is because you hear me say this all the time. You know what I'm saying? Most people do goofy stuff because no one ever tells them that was some goofy stuff you doing. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ever says anything. So when this happens, this emboldens people to think that this is the proper way to behave. This is acceptable way to communicate. And it's not. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn that if someone has done or said, I'm talking about that you know what I'm saying, directly, you need to say something to them right then. If you can't say something to them right then in a calm and a collected and a professional manner, you need to take a moment to gather yourself, and then you need to address that in an adult and mature fashion. The screaming, the hollering, the name calling, the disrespect, that means you don't have the mental and emotional capacity to communicate as an adult. Little children fuss, fight, and argue. Grown men should be able to converse, to be able to outline what an issue is so they can come to a resolution. You should not be no grown man ready to fight over a disagreement, a misunderstanding, or anything of the sort. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of maturity you got going on? You grown. You talking about you in your mid-30s, early 40s, and you don't have proper conflict resolution skills, man? That's just weird as hell. When your book tell you that a soft answer turn away wrath. That's right. That's what they say in the street. Two mountains won't meet, but two men will. And you got to have the ability. Everything should not descend into violence or disrespect because you addressing something. You know what I'm saying? He said, if I let this tell me how to feel, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. Okay. I see Rohan know that song. That song fire too. He said, I pray in myself, control, mature enough. Yeah, baby, look here, man. When you know who you are, you can address stuff you already know. Like once you see he getting violent, you leave. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going through this with you because I got something to lose. See, people do all that extra stuff because they ain't got nothing to lose, or they're projecting, hoping that you'll leave them alone. I sent my dog a video. He two little boys. One big old fat little boy, a little taller than the other boy. He doing all this woofing, screaming, and hollering, walking up in the little boy's face. The other little boy, smaller, slim, shorter, quiet. Just said, punch Jit dead in his mouth. Now the caption on the video was the bigger boy doing all that woofing, saying raised by his mama. The younger one, or the smaller one, who was quiet, it said raised by his father. And all they were just showing is that most young men who are raised by women lack emotional control. You know what I'm saying? And they go to, because you see that in the street with all that arguing, and niggas get shot. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't know how to manage his emotions. He don't know how to control them. You know what I'm saying? So he can't stay calm. When you can't control your emotions, you can't think clearly to make a rational and wise decision. That's why you never make a decision when you're emotional. You never make a decision when your feelings are at their height. You let them abate. That's why I said if somebody do something to you or say something to you that you don't like, and you find yourself highly emotional in the moment, you don't respond in that moment because you're going to say something out of pocket, usually, because you're going to be reacting emotionally. So you want to calm your emotions. You want to process them if you do not have the ability to converse, even when you're in a high emotional state, because you have mastery and control over your emotions. And that's fine if you don't. But you have to be self-aware enough to know that and say, let me go. And also, if you're the opposite party and you trying to have a conversation with somebody, they telling you, give me a minute. Give them a minute, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to force them to talk right then. They telling you, I need a moment. Well, I'm going to cuss you out. And you should do the same thing with your children. If your children got you that angry and you frazzled, man, go sit down somewhere, man. Don't try to discipline and talk to them children when you like that. Because you're going to do something to them. I praise you, no matter how long it took, as long as it got learned. You know what I'm saying? That's something my mama told her, man. My cousin used to do that. Y'all have mercy on his soul with her son all the time. She's like, oh, let me go upstairs before I hurt this boy. You know what I'm talking about? Because you know I'm not in a state where I can discipline you right now. Because I don't want to do or say something that's going to have lasting effects on your mental. You know what I'm saying? You have to stop letting your anger and all this other stuff dictate what you got going on when you're dealing with another person, man. Because you can say the wrong thing, it can stick with them for decades. You know what I'm saying? For decades, man. And you can sit here and say, man, nigga need to stop being so. Hey, man, people human, bro, especially when you're dealing with a child, bro. What are you talking about? He's tripping. Come on, bud. Booper.
A good name is better than precious ointment.
Better than what?
Precious ointment. In the day of death than the day of one's birth.
That man said a good name better than precious ointment, man. That's serious, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no light thing, man. Ain't no light thing. You say, I got trauma now, some stuff you can't say. Yeah, and that junk stick with people, man. Take them years to work through it. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, y'all got the point. Let's come back to Jose Woman. We got to talk about that stuff. Y'all got it. But it descended in some other things, man. Based on some stuff we talked about Wednesday or the week before. I can't remember. All the days run together. Man, you get to a certain age, man, all the days run together. When you were young, you can remember such and such and such and such. You know what I'm talking about? Man, once you get past by about 32, 33, they start running together. It'd be like all the same. You've been thinking that junk was 3-4 days ago, that junk was 3 months ago. Praying works because my hard head make a soft behind. Yeah, I got you, man. For sure. I understand. You know what I'm saying? I be mentioning this stuff because a lot of stuff, man, I appreciate my people because they told us these things. You know what I'm saying? You know, and of course, in the exact moment when they were telling them, it wasn't relevant until you get older and you be facing situations. And then you be like, okay, I see why she said that. I see why he said that. You know what I'm saying? Now it makes sense. You know what I mean? So, you know, you got to drop game all the time. All the time. Because you talking about, again, I told you before, man, you preparing children for life. So when you look at this word, you Yahuwah's child, he preparing you for life. That's what the word is for. It is for you to be able to, whatever situation you encounter, there's a level of skill, aka kokma, aka wisdom, that will give you the ability to have sustaining success. Like we read in that Micah. Ain't that right? That's what it said. Because you want abiding success. Well, what is the success that you're looking for? The obedience and the faithful and righteous obedience, I should say, to the word of Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? That you stand firm. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? That you represent him in a way that is pleasing to him. Give me Ezekiel 36 and 1 of that. That's why he say don't despise the chastening. Remember, the chastening is an instruction. This man trying to teach you something. He said that it'll yield the peaceable fruits of righteousness to all those who will exercise thereby. But see, we don't want to hear that type of stuff You know what I'm saying? Generally, because it's going to lead to a level of self-introspection that most people don't want to have. So you want to hear something that's going to be like, yeah, we the people, and this, that, and the third, or destruction to these people, you know what I'm saying? Or, whatever they teach in the churches that make people feel good. But the realization is, man, this is for your perfection. So there has to be, an examination. That's why he say, examine yourselves whether you be in the faith or not. Lest you be a reprobate. He say, sit upon your own bed and commune amongst yourself. That's what it tell you to do. So when it's doing that, that man say, search me and examine me. And if there be any wrong way in me, go and get it up out of there. You talk about that purge the silver, draws from the silver, and it'll come out finer. So it comes down to, do we want to be perfected? Or do you just want to be, silver plated, gold plated, look like the real thing, but it ain't? You know what I'm saying? Costume, jewelry looking boy. Go ahead, man. Ezekiel 36:1.
And when they entered unto the heathen where they went, they profaned my Kadash name.
Oh my God.
When they said to them, these are the people of Yahuwah and are gone forth out of his land, but I had pity for my Kadash name.
He had what?
Pity for my Kadash name.
What happened?
Which the house of Yasharah had profaned among the heathen where they went. Therefore say unto the house of Yasharah,
what he told him to say.
Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim.
What he said.
I do not this for your sake.
I don't do this for you.
O house of Yasharah, but for my Kadash name's sake.
For whose sake?
My Kadash name's sake.
That man said, y'all got my name ugly out here in these streets, boy.
Which you have profaned among the heathen where you went.
You polluted my name everywhere you went.
And I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which you have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am Yahuwah.
Say, play the church, it's a letdown. Listen, he said the heathen gonna know what?
That I am Yahuwah.
And all he trying to tell you is, my name is my name, boy. Y'all got my name polluted out here in the street, boy. Y'all got me out here looking bad. That's what you hear the ladies on the internet say, like, this man got me out here looking stupid because he out here sleeping with this woman and that woman. But that's real talk, though. You do got that woman looking stupid. You know what I'm saying? The truth be told, you really ain't got her looking stupid. You got yourself looking stupid because she called by your name. So whatever you doing to her, nigga, that's what you're doing to yourself. So you got yourself looking stupid, nigga. You got yourself being disloyal, undisciplined, deceitful. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, you just told the whole world that's who you are. And you know what I need to tell you, man, it's for the yams. Man, shut your goofy behind up, nigga. Big grown nigga worried about some vagina. That's what your whole mind and world operate around is some vagina, boy? But you that pressed? That you'll pollute your own name, my nigga? But that goes back to the point what I'm talking about. Some niggas don't care about their name. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about their name. So it don't matter to them. When you care about your name, you care about how you behave. Because what you do is reflective of your name. You don't want no name. You don't want no name as a thief. You don't want no name as a philanderer. Because we already know what Malachi say. That's being deceitful with the wife of your youth, the wife of your covenant. You's old but God type name. And nobody that work deceit will dwell in his house. That's what he said. Because he don't do that, man. That's not a part of his name. So why is it a part of yours? You know what I'm saying? Like, you had to look at it that way, man. That's what got Yasharah in trouble. They didn't care about polluting his name. They didn't care about their own name, so they ain't going to care about his name. That's a bad way to be. I ain't going to lie to you. You know what I'm talking about? Come on back to Jose, man. 1 and 4.
And Yahuwah said unto him, call his name Jezreel, for yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Yasharah.
And it shall come to pass
at that day that I'll break the bow of Yasharah in the valley of Jezreel.
I mean, he broke him right there. Y'all got to get up out of here. Go ahead. And she conceived again. Shalom, man.
And bare a daughter. And Elohim said unto him, call her name Laruama, for I will no more have mercy upon the house of Yasharal, but I will utterly take them away.
Pause. Now, this is them leaving in the captivity of Assyria. But now he's saying that the mercy's been removed. Do you know how terrible you got to be moving, man, for this man to take his mercy away? But listen to what he say, though. But I will have mercy on who?
Upon the house of Yehuda.
And will save them.
By Yehuda their
and will not save them.
By bow,
nor by
sword,
nor by
battle,
nor by
horses,
nor by
horsemen.
Now pause, because this is one of the verses I wanted you to pay attention to. He said he'll have mercy on Yehuda, but he'll save them by who?
By Yehuda their Elohim.
Now, how did he save them? When you look on the natural side of things, it's them coming out of Babylon, and they went, and then he moved Cyrus to set them free. But see, we're going to take this a step further, you dig? This is going to take us back to what we were talking about, Zechariah 12. You remember? If you don't, let's read it again. 12 and 7. I'll read Hosea 1 and 7 one more time as he retrieves that. I will have mercy upon the house of Yehuda, and I will save them by Yehuda Elohim, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen. Run.
Yahuwah also shall save the tents of Yehuda first.
He said the tents of who?
Yehuda first.
Wow.
That the esteem of the house of David and the esteem of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify against Yehuda.
Now we got to go back to Kings to refresh your memory. Why is he saving the tents of Yehuda first? 1 Kings 11 and 33. After that, John chapter 10, verse 14. You know, this verse in John is continually and routinely misinterpreted and applied to Gentiles. That passage is not talking about Gentiles per se. You know, my man's them been talking about not getting rid of the word Gentile. You know, Gentile translates in Hebrew to Goy or Goyim, nations. You know, when you look at the word Gentiles in English, in Genesis 10, it's ascribed to the sons of Japheth. But because of the doctrine that some people hold that some Israelites or Gentiles in the New Testament, we don't care about that. But I'm just sharing with you that piece of information. For those of you who may not be aware of the banal and complacent and repetitive arguments on things that don't matter that occur in certain spaces among the same people on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, year-to-year basis that comes to no conclusion of perfecting anyone in any shape, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, what I got you at, sir?
1 Kings 11 and 33.
Run it.
Because that they have forsaken me and have worshipped Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Zidonians, Kamash, the god of the Moabites, and Milcom, the god of the children of Ammon.
Come on.
And have not walked in my ways to do right in my eyes and to keep my statutes and my judgments as David his father.
That's right.
Howbeit I will not take the whole kingdom out of his hand, but I'll make him prince all the days of his life for David my servant's sake.
For who?
For David my servant's sake.
What after that?
Whom I chose because he kept my commandments and my statutes.
Go ahead.
But I'll take the kingdom out of his son's hand, and I will give it unto you, even 10 tribes.
Go ahead.
And unto his son will I give one tribe, that David my servant may have a light always.
That may have a what?
A light.
Have a what?
A light.
A what?
A light.
Always before me where?
In Jerusalem.
This is why he gonna save the tents of Judah first. But let's magnify Yahushua's testimony some more. John chapter 1, verse 4. After that, John chapter 11, verse 12. Because in him was the what? You finna see.
In him was life, and the life was the light of men.
It was the what?
The light of men.
Now he said he'd leave a light in Jerusalem. That light is reflective of man. But hold on. What does 1 John 1 and 5 tell you? Elohim is what?
Light.
And no part.
Darkness.
So that means he left God there. This is why the temple was. Nigga think it was rebuilt for a man. You know what I'm saying? Well, that temple was rebuilt for God. Because he said he left a light there. For David his servant's sake. We know why. Psalms 89 and 22. Psalms 89 and 22, and then John 11 and 12. This is stemming from Hosea 1 and 7 to Zechariah 12 and 7. We'll come back to Zechariah 12 in just a moment because I want to read verse 10 on general principle.
The enemy shall not exact upon him, nor the son of wickedness afflict him. Mm-hmm. And I'll beat down his foes before his face, and plague them that hate him. But my faithfulness and my mercy shall be with him.
My faithfulness and what?
And mercy.
My faithfulness and what?
And mercy.
Gonna be what?
With him.
Hold on, run that again, man, so y'all can hear it again, man. Slow it down for me, man. Psalms 89 and 22.
Say the enemy shall not exact upon him.
Who is the enemy? Tell him what exact means, man.
That is nashaf. That is through the idea of imposition, to lend on interest, to done for debt, to exact, to give of usury.
To give a debt. Now pause. He said the enemy won't have debt on him. Who had debt on David? So you know it ain't talking about David. So you know when you heard that the enemy won't have any debt on him, and he told you, if you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And he said, he that commits sin is the servant of sin. He said, but if the Son shall set you free, you shall be free forever. Your mind should have automatically went to Koshe, free among the dead. No tax, no debt, no obligation. So who is the enemy? The enemy is death. You will have no longer any debt or obligation to it. That's why he left a light there. That's why he saved the tents of Judah first. Because that go back to what he told Solomon when he punished him. You know what I'm saying? Niggas think the kingdom got split because of this, that, there. The kingdom got split because Solomon had them people worshiping idols. Man. You know what I'm saying? On the direct level. On the testimony level, the kingdom got split because the man had two. You think Jacob had Rachel and Leah because he just wanted two wives. The man wanted one. He only wanted Rachel. You know what I'm talking about? But Rachel and Leah are there as representative of both houses of Yasharal. But dude's too simple to understand that because you're horny. And then you know what people had a nerve to do? You know the thing that irks me the most is that niggas who've been wicked all their days will have the nerve because they feel like they're in a particular position to open up this book and have the nerve to put their mouth on people who more righteous than them. Got the nerve to talk about Jacob, talk about Leah, talk about Noah, talk about, shut your maggot behind up, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Because ain't nobody trying to be you. I'm talking about as far as godliness is concerned. A lot of people wish they could be as godly as the people I just mentioned. You know what I'm talking about? The unmitigated negacity. That's insane, bro. I think the Lord, he ain't never gave me no type of mind to read that and talk and have my mind thinking, boy, that nigga Adam was a simp. But what's wrong with you, boy? Jacob was wicked. Why he did that to his brother? His brother could have said no. That'd be the part I don't be looking at. He tricked his brother. How can somebody trick you when they made you an offer? You ain't have to take it. He could have just gave him the bowl. Or maybe Yahuwah used Jacob to try Esau to see what was in his heart. Did that ever run across your mind, boy? Nobody want to look at the fact that this man wanted beans more than he wanted God. That tells me a lot about y'all. That tells me a lot of y'all would sell your birthright for a pot of beans. You know what I'm talking about? That's what a lot of people will do, man. Oh, man, why Abraham did this here? Man, shut your stupid behind up. That junk aggravating, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, blood. I don't be liking that junk, man. You know what I'm saying? That junk crazy, bro. That man said everything written aforetime was written for your learning. These were real people, man. They human beings. What you expecting from them? Good God. You know what I'm saying? That junk is retarded, bro. You got people who just stopped masturbating last week, got an opinion on people more godly than them. Nigga, you just learned how to wipe your butt good. You know, I heard these chicks had a video the other day. Well, I remember that just came out of nowhere. I'm sorry. Well, they were talking about men were talking about this man told me he stand up to wipe. I never knew. Like they was like, do men do that? I'm like, I've never had a conversation with any man all my days about how he cleans himself when he sit on the toilet. But from the I know it, Ernest, and it's sad. But from the comments that I seen, it seemed like there's a lot of men dudes like that's gay to sit down and wipe your butt. I'm like, y'all niggas might be gay for real. Because I'm not because of that, but it seems like what's up with all you dudes that think everything gay? Nigga, why is you thinking about gay stuff all the time. That's wild to me, bro. Brother, sit down and wipe your behind. You like, stand up. That lady said, that's why they got skid marks in their draw. I'm like, shoot. That nigga might not be wiping at all. You know what I'm talking about? But it'd be women had these conversations asking each other. Because my homegirl shared it. You know what I'm saying, on threads. And I just was reading the comments and I was just tripping. All the dudes who was on there, like, or women saying they do, was like, yeah, they stand up and do that. I was like, shoot, I never knew. Well, they said it came from, because I guess, I don't know, maybe it came from the thread. No, what was even crazier was hearing grown women say that all men should sit down to urinate and then wipe themselves after they do it. I say, y'all really want to emasculate and make men women. You realize how much pee get everywhere? I'm like, if nigga pissing all on the back of the wall and all that, he got a bigger problem. You know what I'm saying? What that nigga say, boy? Oh, y'all don't know that Big Josh skit, man. This is an old one. And the dude came and that dude pissed all on his hand and everything, man. It's the ICU nigga. That nigga say, boy, what kind of pee hole you got? This pee going everywhere. You know what I'm talking about? It was like when you urinate in the toilet bowl, it splashes up. It makes it easier to clean. So you want me to sit down like a woman? Then they were like, y'all gotta wipe it. You want me to sit on the toilet and wipe my penis like a woman? Let women be a women business. They should let men be a men business. I was like, wow. Say, why does it matter? That never. I don't know. Probably. I think it said it came from a woman. I think she walked in on her dude doing that, and she was amazed that that's how he was doing that. And I think that's what caused her to ask that question. But I'm like, yeah, as men, I don't think it. I've been a man a long time now, and I've never had a conversation with any man about how he manages to cleanse himself after defecating. I don't even know if that would ever be a topic of conversation. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. But there was something, but I forgot what thread that was, man. I'm talking about. He said the fourth crusade saving men's masculinity. Man, if you let your old lady convince you to sit down and pee, man, just go ahead and get a nice rope, right? Find the highest tree you can find and just hang yourself. It's over. It's over. Just get it over with. I'm talking about it's over. Man, ain't no woman on earth can convince me to sit. Look here, man, because what make it worse is you're going to have a generation of women who going to raise their sons to sit down and pee. You know what I'm saying? Which means that you're going to have a generation of weak men. Because, boy, I couldn't be no man who's old lady teaching his son to sit down and pee. What, man? Square up, ho. That's all that's coming out my square up. You know what I'm saying? What did you talking about? No, you got to square up. We got to fight about that. You know what I'm saying? No, sir. That's like teaching your daughter to stand up and pee. You trying to make her man? You want her to be Brittany Griner? I told you about that video. That girl slapped Caitlin. What her name is? Caitlin Clark on the bus. She's like, whoa, bro, whoa. Telling you, man, it's backwards out here, bro. But shoot, you better guard your children hard. You think it's a game? Now, some stuff I might say it in a humorous fashion, bro. But that junk going down out here. Because while you around here in La La Land, boy, there's some weirdo people out here, and your children coming in contact with them. I literally seen a video of a homosexual man talking about he don't let his son see his boyfriend because we raising men around here. How are you a punk? How you raising men and you a homosexual? So we don't do that junk. Don't have no man around here kissing him in the mouth, but you gay though. His literal point was we raising men around here. Nigga. That's pretty much what he said. He said he ain't raising his son like that. And he don't want his son to see that. No, he said that plainly. Yeah, he said that plainly. Come on with it, man. Weird out here, bro. Tell me. Where we at?
Psalms 89 and 22.
Go ahead.
Say the enemy shall not exact upon him, nor the son of wickedness afflict him.
So listen, Satan can't touch him. Death, and he ain't got no debt to death. Go ahead.
And I'll beat down his foes before his face and plague them that hate him.
And the last enemy to be destroyed is death, and he gonna plague them. Because all those that hate him love death. That's what Proverbs saying. Come on, man.
And I'll beat down his foes before his face.
That's right.
And plague them that hate him.
Come on.
But my faithfulness and my mercy shall be with him.
Forever.
In my name shall his horn be exalted. I will set his hand also in the sea, and his right hand in the rivers. He shall cry unto me, you are my father, my Elohim, and the rock of my salvation. And I will make him my firstborn, higher than the kings of the Arats.
David wasn't higher than the kings of the earth, nor was he his firstborn. He wasn't even his daddy firstborn. Go ahead.
My mercy will I keep for him forevermore. And my
You know, my dog was telling me he was watching some TV show they got, I think he said on Netflix or Amazon, something about David.
I think they got a show about him. They made a show called David.
Yeah, that's whatever it was, because I can't recall all the details. But because he asked one of the mores, man, who on the actual, like, quote unquote Orthodox Jewish side of things, because he said in the film or the show, it was saying that David was conceived through adultery, that his mama stepped out on Jesse, and that's why he said, I was shaping in iniquity and conceived in sin. I said, what are you people making stuff up? But from what he told my dog, he like, that's a teaching that's been out here for a long time, not just from that TV show.
It's called House of David.
Yeah, because Morris said he ain't watching it because obviously they take artistic liberties. Yeah, he was speaking that David got did like, which the book don't even state that David got mistreated. It's just he was the youngest son, so he didn't have the rank in the household compared to his older brethren, which was, I mean, normal Hebrew custom, to be honest with you. He the youngest. They said that's why he was the sheep herder, because his mama was a whore. But what he was alluding, the Moreh eventually mentioned is what's in Corinthians. And say in the house of David, he was the shame of his house, which the word don't even say that. You know what I'm saying? But it's more, it's what they call it, artistic liberty. Yeah. But they do that because, remember, I've told y'all this before, when it comes to biblical stories, there's no context to make movies or television shows out of it. So they have to take artistic liberty in order to make you want to watch it. Because again, that's why I tell you, that's why, number one, I don't even watch shows like that, because the word is not for your entertainment. The word is for your salvation. These strangers, these heathens, they like to take the word to use it for entertainment for the purpose of monetization. I'm not participating in that. I'm not telling you it's a sin for you to watch it. I'm just not participating. You're not going to make no money off of me. I'm not paying to see it. I'm not watching it. I'm not doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the word of the everlasting salvation. You're not going to take the elements of the good news and then try to turn it and flip it for entertainment. Just say, I stopped watching shows about the Bible. I never really was in, obviously, because I wasn't raised in it. I wasn't ever into that. And then once I got in the word, it was a definite no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did not want to see Passion of the Christ because I'm like, everybody in here white. And I know that people in this book ain't white. So I'm not watching that. I think I seen it when I was in prison. Just watched it for the sake of watching it. You know what I'm saying? But that was not something that I had a desire to see, because this man ain't white. They said they have a disclaimer that says they take artistic liberties. And shoot, I bet they do. But shoot, I already know that they have to. They took artistic liberties in the Passion of the Christ. They don't have a choice. There's not enough context for what they need to make a show watchable, which is drama. We see most people say drama in regular life, and it's not drama. You know what I'm saying? What a lot of it is that people do not have proper communication skills. You know what I'm saying? Some people in black people anyway call stuff drama when it just calls for direct confrontation. That's not drama. You feel what I'm saying? That's called being a goddamn adult. You know what I'm saying? Like some people call what you see on Real Housewives drama. That's not drama. That's an immature individual. That's a chaotic person. That's not drama. Drama is something that leads to high anticipation. At least from an artistic standpoint, I should say. You know what I'm saying? Maybe in real life, maybe not so much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? That's what drama is. You need certain elements of human emotion stoked to have the audience invested. You're not going to get that from biblical stories. So they have to take artistic liberties. They don't give you layers of depth into these people's personality in the word because it's not important. You know what I'm saying? This is not a novel. This is not Homer's Iliad. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what that is, look it up. I'm not explaining it. Go ahead. Some of y'all might have read it in school. I didn't. I read it on my own time.
Keep going in Psalms 89.
Why not?
Verse 28. Say, my mercy will I keep for him forevermore. My covenant shall stand fast with him. His seed also will I make to endure forever. His throne as the days of Shamaim.
If his throne is as the days of Shamaim, Shamaim endures forever. That's not David's throne. That's Yahushua's throne. John 11 and 12. Well, you know, we broke up a cast iron tub today. That was the easiest cast iron tub I ever broke. Man, I hit that hole, a piece shot out that junk and hit my shin, boy. I'm glad that junk ain't cut that hole off. Now, you know, usually they don't give that easy. And they will give it.
You're going to need some protection out there.
Shoot, ain't no protection in the world for that. Nigga have to have a catcher suit on.
I'll get you some shin guards.
I'll pass. Nah, you know they usually don't break like that. Nigga was breaking like it was funny because Jimmy hit that hole. Yeah, cast iron tub. You know, most older houses have cast iron bathtubs. Hate removed them holes heavy. You know what I'm talking about? Holes heavy. You know what I mean? Depending on the tub, man, them tubs can go anywhere from 300 to 700 pounds. No exaggeration. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like a regular, what you call it? What these tubs made out of now? Yeah, fiber. You know, fiberglass tub, man. You can pop. You pop him right on. It ain't even just a weight. It's easier to pop out. With a cast iron tub, you literally, the only way you could really take it out is with a sledgehammer. Like you could cut it up, but that junk will take forever. You know what I'm saying? Because you can only use a certain type of blade. Yeah, that junk take forever. You have to bust out the four corners on the tub first. You know what I'm saying? But you really want to try to break it into pieces to lessen the weight. And then you don't want to, the one we did in St. Augustine, he was kind of like screwed in. That junk was hell, boy. You understand me? But this one here broke easy, though. That junk was easy, man. Them whole head, I don't like fooling with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take that hoe to the scrapyard, man, and get $30 for it. That's probably what it's gonna weigh to. Maybe not even that. Go ahead, man. John 11:12.
Say, then said his disciples, Lord, if he sleep, he shall do well. Howbeit Yahushua spake of his death, but they thought that he had spoken of taking of rest and sleep. Then said Yahushua unto them plainly, Lazarus is dead. And I am glad for your sakes that I was not there, to the intent you may believe. Nevertheless, let us go unto him.
Hold on. Tell you what I wanted. I might need to go to verse 8. Yeah. Go ahead.
His disciples saying to him, Master, the Yahudim of late sought to stone you, and go you there again? Yahusha answered, Are there not 12 hours in the day? And if any man walk in the day, he stumble not, because he see the light of this world.
The light of what?
Of this world.
Mm.
But if a man walk in the night, he stumble.
Nah, he told you he the light of the what?
Of the world.
My God, today. One more. There's one more I need. John 8 and 12. Yeah, I mean, cast iron tubs ain't the norm. You know what I'm saying? It's just on older houses. You know what I'm talking about? You're gonna run into. You're not gonna run into a cast iron tub on a house built after 1970, maybe 75. You know what I'm saying? You got a house built in the 60s or the 50s, and it ain't never been remodeled. You know what I'm saying? That junk gonna have a cast iron tub in there. You know what I'm saying? One thing I can tell you about older, because this house concrete block. You know what I'm saying? They don't make concrete block houses no more. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, they don't even make brick houses no more for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Usually when you see brick houses, they be $1 million neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? Man, most of these houses ain't nothing but doggone plywood and sheetrock, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? That's why they could throw them holes up so fast. You know what I'm saying? Only number plywood, man, and doggone 2x4s. You know what I'm saying? For the framing. Straight up, man. And you paying $400,000-$500,000 for something, boy, nigga give a deep breath. That whole falling over. You know what I'm saying?
A 60-day house.
Yeah, man. You don't think of them, they throw them holes up. You know what I'm saying? But if you go in some of them gated communities, houses like this, them houses be brick. You know what I'm saying? It'll be brick. But yeah, concrete block though. Yeah, they don't make concrete block houses no more. You know what I'm saying? Not brand new. I ain't seen them. You seen something? I ain't seen that. You know what I'm saying?
Like
but yeah,
they throwing these subdivisions up so fast.
Yeah, you can't throw no concrete block house up fast. You're gonna do a lot of things fast. Concrete block house ain't one of them. You know what I'm saying? But when you run across houses like that and they ain't never been remodeled, they're gonna have a cast iron tub in them, man. That's for certain. Because they made stuff to last back then, man. They made that house so that house wouldn't fall down. The same way they made cars back then. That whole was gonna be indestructible. You see what I'm saying? They made it to last. The same thing with all these cars, man. That junk ain't nothing but plastic with metal underneath. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that nigga got a computer up under there. You know what I'm talking about? He's sophisticated up under that. You know what I'm saying? But the construction of the automobile itself, man, that nigga ain't nothing but with plastic, man. That's why when you see them car accidents, them cars be mangled like that. You know what I'm saying? You get them older cars get hit like that, they ain't get mangled like that because they were meant to withstand impact. Bet you won't hit no bubble Chevy and that nigga be looking like that. Bet you that. Get you a doggone new Chevy Impala. Nah, boy, that nigga gonna be crunch. Go ahead, man.
Then spake Yahusha again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world.
Yeah.
He that follow me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life.
Back to just Zechariah 12 and 7. I just want you to establish that he was the light, and that the light was the life, and that he left a light in Jerusalem, and that he will have mercy on the house of Judah and save them by Yehuda Elohim, and not by bows or anything else, because you know what he said, not by might, not by strength, but by my Ruach, saith Yahuwah. I heard that, man. No, I seen that boy Jason Black said something, man. He say everything bad right now. He ain't lying though. I didn't say the food, the movies, the TV show, the sports, the music, everything trash. And you know why everything trash? Because these people don't put in no effort into doing anything. Everything mediocre, and they just throw it out there, and people consume it. It ain't no different than what people doing with the word. That junk trash, you don't care, because everything else trash run. Like, bro, when you look at the stuff that they put out here for you to consume, no matter what it is, it's mid. You know what I'm saying? And they don't care that you think that it's mid, because you're going to buy it anyway. You know what I'm saying? They don't even try no more. Man, when I be in some of these groups, bro, like, and I'm just mentioning this because it's simple. And they mention, like, say, like Nike shoe designs. They be like, they're not even trying no more. Bro, I literally noticed that the LeBrons, the Giannis's, the Morants, and the Bookers all look the same. Even them Jordan 40s look the same like Giannis's and Booker. They look the same. Bro, they're not even trying, bro. What I mean by that is there's no innovation. Well, there's no innovation, there's no elevation. So guess what that'll cause the populace to be? Cool with being stagnant. And I say that when you transport it over to the word, it's the same thing with the word. It's mid stuff. So you've got so accustomed to mid that you think the stuff this person is saying is profound when really this is average or below. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what everybody else is doing. So it seems spectacular. When in actuality, nigga, this is trash. But you can't even tell it. And I'm not saying that other than that's sad whole time. You know what I'm saying? Keep it all the way live, which, come on with it, man. Where we at here?
Zechariah 12 and 7.
Run it again.
So Yahuwah also shall save the tents of Yehuda first, that the esteem of the house of David and the esteem of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify against Yehuda. In that day shall Yahuwah defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem. He that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David.
That's right.
And the house of David shall be as Elohim.
Come on.
As the Malachim of Yahuwah before them.
That's right.
And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. And I will pour upon the house of David.
That's it. That's what we want. What are you going to pour upon?
And upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the ruach of grace and of supplications.
Pause. Give them grace and supplications with no hesitation. It is a microwave product, man, because you can just, because they just want money. So just throw anything out there. The care and quality and depth is no longer present. But that also speaks to the mindset of the people as a whole. Because the only way that people would accept things of a short shelf life and no quality is because the people have not fully developed themselves and they're stunted in their development. Go ahead.
Kani, that's graciousness, kindness, favor.
He's going to give you the ruach of kindness or favor. Supplications.
Takanun, earnest prayer, entreaty, supplication.
Earnest prayer. I think you know where earnest prayer was given. If it be possible, let it cup pass, man. You know what I'm talking about? Zechariah 12 and 10 one more time for the one time.
And I'll pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the rock of grace and of supplication.
Well,
and they shall look upon me whom they have pierced. And they shall mourn for him as one mourn for his only son.
His only one.
They shall be in bitterness for him as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn.
Now tell him what only son is, man. Let's make sure it's your kid. For only begotten. Now this is saying you're going to mourn like you would for your only begotten son. That's not David, man. You know what I'm talking about? Because he said he would do this on the house of David. David can't be a part of this because David is dead. Now, why did we go through all this? For Romans 8 and 8. We really want 10, but shoot, you can make it verse 5. But 10 or 11 is what we're angling towards. And then go to John chapter 10, verse 14.
For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh.
So do.
But they that are after the ruach, the things of the ruach.
That's right.
For to be carnally minded, death. But to be spiritually minded
is
life and shalom.
Therefore.
Because the carnal mind is enmity against Elohim.
And is not subject
to the law of Elohim.
Neither indeed
can be.
What else?
So then they that are in the flesh cannot please Elohim. But you are not in the flesh.
You are not in the what?
In the flesh.
But you in the what?
In the ruach.
You in the what?
In the ruach.
If.
So be that the ruach of Elohim dwell in you. Now, if any man have not the ruach of Hamashiach,
he is.
None of his.
He is.
None of his.
He is.
None of his.
What else?
And if Hamashiach in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the ruach is life because of righteousness. But if the ruach of him that raised up Yahushua from the dead dwell in you,
what else?
He that raised up Hamashiach from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his ruach that dwell in you.
That's good. Now, what did we go there for? Because he said he was pour out the spirit of grace and the spirit of supplications. We know that this man made a serious entreaty to his father at the time of his suffering, and he poured out the spirit of kindness and acceptance on him because this was an acceptable sacrifice before him. And he saved him by Yahuwah's Elohim. And it wasn't by bow, and it wasn't by sword, and it wasn't by battle or horses. Because he said, my Elohim, why have you forsaken me? That's what he said. And he delivered him. John 10 and 14.
I am the good shepherd, and know my sheep, and am known of mine. As the Abba know me, even so I know the Abba. And I lay down my life for the sheep, and other sheep I have, which are not of this fold.
Mm-hmm.
Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice.
Come
and
on.
There shall be one fold and one shepherd.
There shall be what?
One fold and one shepherd.
Run it again.
Saying, other sheep I have, which are not of this fold. Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice. And there shall be one fold.
Now I'm going to give y'all a moment to answer that. Who is this other sheep and other fold that he must bring in? And you need book to support who this is. So you just can't tell me who it is. You need to give me passages. You ain't got to give me 2 or 3. You can give me 1. 2 or 3 would be great. But I need you to give something to support your answer. Or it's that they like to tell you in math class, you're going to have to show your work. You're going to have to show me how you got to that answer. Read it again, see.
Say, another sheep I have, which are not of this fold. Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore do my Abba love me.
Why?
Because I lay down my life that I might take it again.
That I might take it again. No man
take it from me.
I lay it
down of myself.
Why?
I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again. Mm-hmm. This commandment have I received of my Abba.
She mentioned Romans 11 about the olive tree. No, because that's talking about the Gentiles. Barry, what's happening, man? Read me Romans 11 and 22. Get in the general vicinity of what she's referencing.
Say, behold, therefore, the goodness and severity of Elohim on them which fell. Severity, but towards you, goodness, if you count it in his good, if you continue in his goodness, otherwise you also shall be cut off. And they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in, for Elohim is able to graft them in again. Mm-hmm. For if you were cut off out of the olive tree, which is wild by nature, and were grafted contrary to the nature, into a good olive tree, how much more shall these, which be the natural branches, be grafted into their own olive tree? Mm-hmm. For I would not, brethren, that you should be ignorant of this mystery, lest you should be wise in your own conceits.
Yeah, that's good. So see that one there, he's talking about Israel and the Gentiles. No, those other sheep are not Gentiles. Stanley mentioned 2 Kings 17. Grab this. I don't move around like that. And Sister Gwen mentioned the other nations. That's how it's commonly referenced, that it's the other nations. But it's not the other nations. Because you have to remember this key point. Matthew 15:24 says. Go ahead.
Say, but he answered and said, I am not sent unto the lost. I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Yasharal.
Now, to make that statement, that can't be the other fold that has to hear his voice and bring them in. How else do we know this? Matthew chapter 10 and verse 1. That's it. Stanley mentioned 2 Kings 17, which is a long chapter. This is when they talk about Israel getting put out and then the other people being scattered in. But he's mentioning that this is the other sheep.
Okay, when he called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean ruachs to cast them out and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
Go ahead. Let me read the whole thing you mentioned, right? You know, 2 Kings 17, again, is referencing the northern kingdom that got scattered. This is the other sheep. They was in the land in the southern kingdom. I'm going to read the specific and exact verse that he's actually quoting in that John. Go ahead.
They say now the names of the 12 apostles are these: the first Simon, who was called Peter, Andrew his brother, James the son of Zebedee, and John his brother, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the publican, James the son of Alphaeus, and Levius, whose surname was Thaddeus, Simon the Canaanite, and Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him.
Go ahead.
These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles. And
Go not where?
Into the way of the Gentiles.
Go not where?
Into the way of the Gentiles.
There's no way that this man going to tell his disciples to do one thing and then he turn around and say, there's another sheep that has to hear my fold. Number one, he said there's other sheep. First thing your mind should have went to is Psalms 95. You know what I'm talking about? But we'll grab it in a second. Finish that.
And into any city of the Samaritans enter you not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Yasharal.
Now, when he say this here, this is not an Israel and Judah type deal. He talking about all of them. I'm going to give you some more context. Psalms 119, 176. From Psalms 119, 176 to Psalms 95 and 8. From Psalms 95 and 8 to 2 Kings 17 and 18. And I got Ezekiel 37 and 15 already primed and prepped and prepared. But you can read John 10 and 17 after you read the things that I asked you to read. This will allow you to understand more in-depthly why Hosea and Zechariah 12 say Judah will be saved first. Also, that takes us into Daniel 9 and 24 when he say the temple will be rebuilt unto Hamashiach. And that's in Judah. That's not in Bethel. Continue, sir.
I have gone astray like a lost sheep.
This is Psalms 119 and 176. I've gone astray like a what?
Like a lost sheep.
Lost means to be destroyed or to perish. Continue.
Seek your servant, for I do not forget your commandments.
So this is why he tell you that he's seeking the lost sheep, because they're destroyed. Now, Psalms 95 and 8.
Harden not your heart as in a provocation and as in a day of temptation in the wilderness. When your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my work. 40 years long was I grieved with this generation, and said it is a people that do err in their heart, and they have not known my ways.
Go ahead.
Unto whom I swear in my wrath, they should not enter into my rest.
Go ahead.
That's it.
Well, back me up to verse 3 then.
For Yahuwah is a great Elohim and a great Malik above all gods, and his hands are the deep places of the Arats. The strength of the hills is his also. The sea is his, and he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. Oh, come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before Yahuwah, our maker. For he is our Elohim, and we are the people of his pasture, and the sheep of his hand.
We the what?
And the sheep of his hand.
And we're the people of his pasture.
Today, if you will hear his voice.
There's not any time where he ever referred to the other people as a sheep. You know what I'm saying? That does not mean that they're excluded. This is for the purpose of understanding the Lord's statement and scripturally why he said it. You understand? 2 Kings 17 and 18. Go ahead.
Therefore, Yahuwah was very angry with the Yasharal and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Yehuda only.
So let's go to John 10 and 17 one more time.
Therefore, do my Abba love me, because I lay down my life that I might take it again.
Make it 16.
And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd.
Now, Ezekiel 37 and 15. Woke up, these niggas arguing about the Sabbath again. The word of Yahuwah came unto again to me, saying, Moreover, son of man, take you one stick and write upon it for Yehuda, and for the sons of Yasharal his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and all the house of Yasharal his companions. Join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in your hand. Ephesians 4 and 4. Now, he said there'll be one stick in his hand. What does this mean? Go ahead.
One body, one Ruach, even as you are called in one hope of your calling. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one Elohim and Abba of all, who is above all.
One of the things that people forget, just because he gave them two separate kings does not mean that it was two separate people. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that. How many bodies he said it was?
One.
How many faiths he said it was?
One.
How many callings he said it was?
One.
How many gods he said it is?
One.
So when you see him in verse 17 in Ezekiel 37, and join them one to another in one stick, and they shall become one in your hand. And when the sons of your people shall speak unto you, saying, will you not show us what you mean by these? Say unto them, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Yasharal his fellows, and I will put them with him with the stick of Yehudah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in my hand. And the sticks wherein you write shall be in your hand before your eyes. And say unto them, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, behold, I will take the sons of Yasharal from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and I will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Yasharal. One Malik shall be Malik to them all, and they shall be no more two nations. Neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. So when you see he got a fold and they got to hear his voice, see, there's another thing. He said, read John 10 and 16 one more time. I'm going to see if you pick up on the other element in the law. Does that mean that there were no people of the northern kingdom in the land at that time? No, it does not. Because clearly, because you seen a woman from the tribe of Asher there. What do you say, dude? Just asked me if we're going to rule people in the earth to come. I said the earth to come only to worship, going to be going on who will be ruling with Yahuwah and Yahushua. And yeah, that's what it is. Come on with it, man. Read it again.
And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold.
And they shall what?
Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice.
They shall do what?
Hear my voice.
They shall do what?
Hear my voice.
Now, what verses would y'all use to support the fact that he said both of these folds got to hear his voice? What would you use to validate his statement? One we read already. One we read on Wednesday. The one we read on Wednesday is the most important one. And this is what I be referring to when I'm like, when you read verses, man, pause, look, because there's multiple elements of multiple things being communicated. And what do I mean by that? I'm going to walk my way over here to this verse, right? So then you got the other sheet, which we looked at. You got Psalms 95. You have Psalms 119. You got Ezekiel 34. This is just for the purpose of establishing who the sheep are and why. You know what I'm saying? This is how you'll be able to do. And this is what I mean. A word can be flowing out somebody's mouth without them quoting it. So no, it's not a word match type of deal, because you have to look at the context of what's being referred to. One, because we read that Matthew 15, he said he called them the lost sheep. So when you see the Psalms 119, 176, and you say, we're like sheep going astray, the next thing you take it to is when you look at Saul and his sheep was astray. His father's sheep, and he had to go what? Seek them out. Or when you see David say, I protected my father's sheep from a lion and a bear. I delivered them from them. You know what I'm saying? That's why he say he's a good shepherd. He got to care for the flock. So then he say, which are not of this fold. So again, that took us back when we was in 1 Kings 11. Then again, referenced again in 2 Kings 17, that there was a separation. Give them fold in the Greek. You got a billfold. You know what I'm talking about? You got all types of folds. Got folds in your sheets. I'm trying to give y'all time to answer that question.
That's point A. That's a flock or fold.
This is a flock. So you know in Ezekiel 34, he say his flock are men, but you know he just read, I'm giving 10 tribes to Israel, but I'm going to leave one in Jerusalem for David, my servant's sake, so he can have a life. This is how you're able to determine who the flocks are and why there's two folds. So then he said those two folds he has to bring, and then there'll be one fold. So that's where your Ezekiel 37 come in, because now it's one flock. When they were two flocks separately, they had two kings. You know what I'm saying? And then he said, and one shepherd. Well, we know that the law says that pray that they have one shepherd, so they don't be as sheep and having no shepherd. That's another one to take to that, because that's number 27. You know what I'm talking about? But see, this one, when it said, and they shall hear my voice, what should stood out was this. Deuteronomy 18 and 15, because that's what we read the other day, because nobody offered to do anything. everything. And I can understand why it's late. Niggas probably slobbing. You know what I'm talking about? Dozing, nodding like they on that boy. You know what I'm saying? You know about that boy? I ain't gonna lie. I'd have sold it, but I ain't know nobody who used it. You get a lot of time for that boy, so I need to know something. We got to be making some money. You can't be riding around for the hopes of one and get 20 years because you got a dime bag. You a dime dummy. You know what I'm talking about? But nah, man, that junk there ain't no joke. Come on, Deuteronomy 18 and 15.
So Yahuwah, your Elohim, will raise up unto you a prophet from the midst of you of your brethren, like unto me. Unto him shall you hearken. And to all that you desire of Yahuwah, your Elohim, in Horeb, and the daily assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of Yahuwah, my Elohim, neither let me see this great fire anymore, that I die not. Yahuwah said unto me,
what he said?
They have well spoken that which they have spoken. I'll raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto you.
And him?
And will put my words in his mouth.
And him?
He shall speak unto them all that I shall command him.
And him?
It shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I'll require it of him.
He gonna cause your blood. So when you say hear his voice, this is a reference that I am that prophet. Because he said they shall hear my voice. Well, let's take it a step further. Isaiah 55 and 3. We already read Micah 6 when he said, hear you the rod, didn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Isaiah 55 and 3.
Say, incline your ears and come unto me, hear, and your soul shall live, and I'll make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David.
Hold on, he told him to do what?
Incline your ear, come unto me.
And do what?
Hear, and your soul shall live.
Oh my God, today. He told him to do what? Hear. Didn't he just say, and they shall hear my voice? Because he that believes on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. But he also said, I will put my words in my mouth, and they shall hearken unto you, and everybody who will not hear, I want their blood. So this is the element where you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things that you can go back in the Torah and Tanakh that he said in one verse. In John 10 and 16, 5 different things. And those 5 different things give you the totality of the understanding of why he communicated it like that. Now, the point being made is this, as sister just said, and I know this because I've had many, many conversations because I never held that those were Gentiles, only because he allowed me to understand Ezekiel 37, 15 to 22 is what he was communicating in John 10 and 16. You know what I'm saying? So I never went down that road. But the majority of people are taught that that's talking about Gentiles. And it's understandable why they would look at it in that fashion. Please do not think that we are ridiculing anybody who look at it in that fashion. Because if that's how it's been taught and you look at that at face value, it makes perfect sense. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to give you something extra to see why that don't go that way. You know what we're going to see? Let's see if Civic knows. Let's see how good of a reader he is. Be like what he said, you know what I want. Usher him out. Usher him out. I ain't seen no videos of that funny nigga in a minute, man. Genesis 29:1. Usher him out. Ain't that funny? You get kicked out of a building in your own country.
And then Jacob went on his journey and came into the land of the people of the east. And he looked, and behold, a well in the field. And lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep.
How many flocks of sheep?
3 flocks of sheep.
2?
3.
2?
3.
1?
3.
Okay. Go ahead.
Lying by it, for out of that well they watered the flocks, and a great stone was upon the well's mouth.
What was on the well mouth?
A great stone.
Now, for those of y'all who've been here for a long time, y'all already know what this is. It was a stone on the grave. We didn't even read it in Zechariah 12 when he said, I gave them a fountain for sin and uncleanliness. Go ahead.
And there were all the flocks gathered, and they rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the sheep, and put the stone again upon the well's mouth in its place.
Now, that, of course, that rolling of the stone is representative of Yahushua's resurrection. And those 3 flocks of sheep represent Israel, Judah, and the nations. You know what I'm talking about? There's a reason why there's 3 flocks there, because it ain't 3 houses of Yasharal. You know what I'm talking about? So that's where you see them mention that. Now, see, remember the thing with the Gentiles is, or with the nations, they're considered to be a part of whatever tribe whose land they dwell in. You know what I'm saying? They don't get a separation like, oh, it's woo, woo, woo. If they lived in Judah, they considered to be a part of Judah. Not that they are Judah, they're considered to be a part. How do we know this? Because remember, it said in the book of Esther, all them people converted and became what, Sibby? Jews. What does your law tell you? One law for you and the stranger. As the stranger is, as you are, so is the stranger. So if the stranger dealt in Naphtali, then he's considered to be a part of Naphtali. Not that he is Naphtali, because you have to clarify that, because some people don't have good sense. You're not saying that they're of the house of Naphtali. They're a part of Naphtali because that's where they dwell at. Yeah, it'd be like one of them. But you're not one of them. But you are one of them. Meaning you're not one of them naturally, physically, genetically, biologically. But you are one of them because you live like us. Like I said, and you're counted amongst whatever tribe you live amongst. You're counted with them. You know what I'm talking about? Now, when they actually did a census, if you would, like in numbers, they're not getting counted. You know what I'm saying? It's forth as a genealogical roll. They're not getting counted. So when he said there's one fold, other sheep I got to reap, he talking about Israel. He's not talking about no Gentiles. Because that would contradict what he told his own apostles. Because the Gentiles were not given an edict. Shalom, Isaac, man. The Gentiles were not given an edict that they had to hear the voice of the prophet like unto Moses. But the whole house of Yasharal did. That's what I'm talking about, the nuance. You just got to pay attention to the nuance. Not to the exclusion, but to the nuance. Correct, Ernie, correct. You got to pay attention to the nuance and pick up when he's saying this and he's saying that. You understand what I'm talking about? So read me Zechariah 12:7 one more time. And then back to Hosea 1 and whatever it was, 7 also.
Yahuwah also shall save the tents of Yehuda first, that the esteem of the house of David and the esteem of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify against Yehuda. And that day shall Yahuwah defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David as Elohim, as the Malachim of Yahuwah before them. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. And I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the rock of grace and of supplication.
That's right.
They shall look upon me whom they have pierced.
What up?
They shall mourn for him, as one mourn for his only son.
What up?
And shall be in bitterness for him, as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn.
And what up?
That day shall there be a great mourning in Jerusalem, as the mourning of Hadad-Rimmon in the valley of Megadon. And the land shall...
He said, that's why he said, what manner of lamentations are these that you are sad? Go ahead.
And the land shall mourn every family apart. And the family of the house of David apart, and their wives apart. The family of the house of Nathan apart, and their wives apart. The family of the house of Levi apart, and their wives apart.
That's why you didn't see Joseph around there with Mary, man, in John 19. But come on with it.
The family of Shimei apart, and their wives apart. All the families that remain, every family apart, and their wives apart.
Go ahead.
In that day there shall be a fountain open
to
the house of David, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
That's 13:1. Go ahead.
For sin and for uncleanness.
Now he opened up this fountain for sin and uncleanliness, so that you could be washed. You know what I'm saying? Ephesians 5:22 on 5:25 actually, and then you can read Hosea 1:7.
Say, husband, love your wives, even as Mashiach also loved the assembly and gave himself for it.
That's right.
That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by
the word. That it might be what?
that he might present to himself an esteemed assembly, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing.
Now, when we went back and looked at that stone being on that whale's mouth to water the flocks in Genesis, and then you see that he opened up a well for sin and uncleanliness, and he tell you that the washing of the water of the word so that you could be without spot, wrinkle, or blemish. That's the purpose of him saying he'd open up that fountain to wash you of your sins and anything that defiles you. And what are those things that defile you? On general principle, Mark 7:15. It's a lot of people defiled. I say, man, dudes want to sit there and argue about if the man talking about eating pork and skipping over what the man talking about. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you don't even engage in them type of conversations, because this is someone who is a spiritual idiot. Because you can see clearly they talking about eating without washing your hands. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to make it be this, that, there, and the third to skip over the point that the man was making. Because you're not paying it. Because one, day ain't nobody looking at how the Yahudim live. Boy, they thought it was something wrong with you if you ate some food and you ain't washed your hands. Them people felt like you were dirty, even though they were good and filthy. You know what I'm saying? See, there's a difference between being dirty and then over this nigga dirty. I mean, you come in, you take a bath off the water, black. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the whole ring round the tub. Boy, your mama gonna whoop your behind. You gonna put that comment on that tub and wash that tub, boy, after you got out of it. Leaving all that doggone mud in my tub, boy. Residue. You know what I'm saying? Now, some of us who grew up in the 80s, you know what I'm saying, and in the 70s, you know, that was a badge of honor for your bathtub to look like that after you got out. That means you had a good day outside. Mama that ain't even mad with you. You just got to make sure you clean that tub when you get out of it, because somebody else got to get in there. They don't want to get in there with the residue of your day. Clean that tub, boy. You know, my dog told me, he was like, man, that was wrong. Your granddaddy made you clean the bathtub at 5 years old. I said, no, it wasn't. That's why they turn lazy as hell now. Because you want to wait till they 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, make them do something. Man, they lazy. By then, you've been doing it for them. Now you want me to do it? You've been doing it this long. Why you want to stop? I ain't saying it's right, but that's just how children's mind work. If I ain't had to do it, why you want me to do it now? You've been doing it. Put that nigga to work, boy. Get that nigga that alone. Look here, man. You know, now this is like one thing, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with professional lawn service when you want that thing to be. You know what I'm talking about? You know, sharp. Just that there in the third. But if you just want to cut, that's what you're cheering for. You know what I'm saying? You just want to knock the grass down, that's what you're cheering for. I ain't talking about if you want to clean. I'm talking about cut, weedy, edged, all that. I'm talking about, no. You got to bring a professional in for that. You know what I'm talking about? But if you just want the grass knocked down, that's what you're cheering for. You know what I'm saying? You buy a lawnmower just for this nigga. That's boys or girls. I don't discriminate. Ain't gonna be like, I'm gonna sit in my dust shoe, put it in a crank it. Walk that goddamn lawnmower, nigga. I don't believe in none of that junk. That's for God, man. You're gonna do what I asked you to do. pt8, you're gonna do what I asked you to do. You know what I'm saying? Straight like that. So guess what? If your brother at work and that grass need to be cut, then guess who gotta cut it? You know what I'm saying? Guess what? If you was at work and the dishes needed to be washed, you know what I'm talking about? Or this needed to be prepared, guess what your brother gonna do? Whip him up, boy. Now, well, I don't wait on Joanne to get here. Shoot, lying to me, you here, ain't it? Better get it together. You know what I'm talking about? Because it's not about the task, it's about the work ethic, man. You know what I'm saying? Or knowing, hey, we all work together as a unit. This is what need to be done, then this is what need to be done. You know what I'm talking about? Once you get it in your mind, I ain't got to do this because I'm a girl, and I ain't got to do this because I'm a boy, and they're not going to work together for the benefit of the team. Because all they're going to be thinking about is what? He say, ain't no I in team, but it's an M and an E in it. You know what I'm talking about? That's what niggas going to be focused on. Me. And we don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you focused on me. I want you focused on we. You know what I'm saying? So if that means I need to walk this out or do this or do that for we, then that's what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? All the time, you got to give him princess treatment. Shoot, your daddy got to be a king, and your daddy ain't no king if he clocking in on somebody's job. Hell, your daddy ain't no king if he ain't got no dominion. So we need to stop that junk. I'm talking about dominion. That means you got rule. I ain't talking about because you own no house. That don't make you no king. Kings have dominion and rule and power and authority. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not telling my daughter she's no princess because you ain't in no kingdom. You know what I'm talking about? That doesn't sound good till you go outside the real world and they look at your son and be like, that nigga ain't no prince. Who is this nigga? Who is this princess to who? Now they disappointed because the world not finna treat them like that because you meant that, they mean that to you. The world don't care. You got to earn your keep out here. See, princes and princesses don't have to do that. You know what I'm talking about? A prince and a princess don't got to go out there and prove nothing to nobody. Meaning when I say prove, meaning they got to go outside the door and earn their keep. You know what I'm saying? They got to go out here and compete. Princes and princesses don't do that. They don't have to. You think Prince Charles had to do that when he was a prince? You think his sons had to do that? That don't just sound good in theory, because what you really want is an entitled treatment because you exist. You know what I'm talking about? No. We ain't on none of that. No, we ain't on none of that. You're going to do what I asked you to do when I asked you to do it. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, if we need you to paint the house, then both of you going to paint it. You know what I'm talking about? It don't make no difference. Because again, this is a foster of we a unit, not I'm a boy, I'm a girl, boys do this, girls do that. The line to me, I don't give a damn which one of you take the trash, get it out. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. All that, I'm a girl, I don't touch trash. You gonna touch it in here? Now, see, some people be looking at, see, that's somebody, because you probably, no, I ain't watched my mama do nothing. Because you know what my mama told us to do? I don't care which one of you do it, get it out of here. I just need it done. So, and the reason why that's of the greatest importance, in my opinion, this is my opinion, it's not a fact. When adversity comes, this can allow the group to be able to all pull together in that time of adversity, knowing that each person has each other's back to do what is necessary to navigate those troublous times. You know what I'm saying? And again, that is my opinion. That's not a fact. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to implement it. That's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? You do what you feel is right for you and who under your charge. He said, my godson scared me how much he wanted to obey me. Had me question my obedience to God, my Lord. So I learned how to edge the lawn with a big old kitchen knife. That is wild. That's wild. Well, your people did you dirty. I ain't gonna send him out there with no kitchen knife. If we need to edge, we gotta call Will. I ain't edging nothing. If I edge that jump, boy, that nigga gonna have a wop tape up line. Boy, you understand me? Nah, he gonna have a wop tape up line, boy. Jimmy be calling himself edging. That nigga edging be trash. He be thinking that jump be fire too. That jump be terrible. I don't know how you mess up an edge with an edger. But we supposed to edge once at a time for the jump, man. That jump was terrible. I said, hell, I could have did this. You know what I'm saying? Now, you nice with it if you can edge it with the weed eater. Because I seen some Mexicans get down with the weed eater on the edge, man. You know what I'm saying? I said, I ain't that nice.
Said that weed eater making a cleaner line.
It do, though. But I ain't that good. So, but if you know what you're doing, it do. But I say the edger make it stand out, though. You know what I'm saying? But you got to have good grass, though. See, if you got trash grass, that edge ain't gonna hit on nothing. You got some nice, good, sod in there that's nice, you know what I'm saying, firm and look beautiful. Edge is on point. You got that damn crab grass, that trash in there, man. Nigga, you should have just left that as it was. Just let it grow on the sidewalk. You ain't been cared. Look what you got out here. You know, I had no appreciation for grass until I had to cut some on a regular basis. And that's when I realized that a lot of people's yards are terrible. And then I started to be offended. How you ask me to cut this junk, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like that grass out there, terrible. That grass at the other house, terrible. Terrible yard. You know what I'm saying? Horrible. You got a backyard, nothing but dirt. What a grass at, nigga? Why you ain't put no sod back here? Real, man.
Weeds going back.
You say 31 years experience landscaping? Can't lie, I'm top foreman, my nigga. Hey, you know what I'm saying? That junk a skill boy, nigga talk that trash, man. You know what I'm saying? Now it's easier to cut. It's easier to cut grass when it's good grass. But when it's trash grass, you gotta know what you're doing. You say, but now I work online. But man, I ain't mad at you, man. Sure. I don't like nobody for how they get their bread if it's legal. Shoot, get your money, man. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't alone. I was young watching my grandmother and uncles, and I got older. Oh, y'all country. Edging with a kitchen knife? I ain't gonna lie, I might have revolted on that one. I might have had to rebel on that one. This is ridiculous, Bob. Come on, man. I know it's something better than this. Man, I'm out here with the Pop, I ain't doing this here. Hell. You know what I'm talking about? This too much. Come on, man. What say what it says?
Oh, you on the Mark 7 and 15?
Oh, yeah, man. Say you ride through the neighborhood, needs to shake my head, the grass be dry and dead. And that's just because they ain't taking care of it. I'm also looking at like that yard, like this yard right here, them weeds. That's not grass. You know what I'm saying? It looked like grass, but them weeds out there. And it was the same with that yard at the other house. Them weeds out there. You know what I'm saying? Like when you got good grass, you're not gonna get them weeds out there like when it rains. It's just gonna get taller. You know what I'm saying? But it's still gonna be compact and decent. You know what I'm saying? You might have some weeds out there, man, when you got good sod out there, man. But that's some terrible grass out there. I hate to see whatever them weeds is. They got the two stems. I hate them because that's a surefire sign. This is a terrible yard. And no matter how you cut it, it's never gonna look good. You see what I'm saying? Like it's never gonna look good, bro. You say you had sod laid down in my backyard, now it's just sod and weeds. You say remember Civic using a machete to hedge the bushes.
Oh, that was fun.
You talking about you think the lawn guys be bringing weeds to people's yard? No, them weeds was already there, baby. They ain't have to bring them. I'm gonna tell you something. Boy, don't no lawn man in America like weeds. Not no real one. They don't like no weeds. Cause that junk make a yard. That junk don't look good. You know what I'm saying? You got grass that grow weeds like that, you can never cut it to where it look good. It'll look like it's cut, but it ain't gonna look good. Cause that means that's some trash grass. You know what I'm saying? That's some trash grass. She said, I thought if they don't clean their blades, it's a young dude who cut. No. Not cut weeds ain't gonna make weeds grow in your yard. You know what I'm talking about? Them weeds growing in your yard because that's what's in your soil. You know what I'm talking about? That's trash grass. Because if you got some good grass, you might have some weeds, but it ain't gonna be weeds. Ain't nothing but weeds out there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about this yard. There ain't nothing but weeds out there. And then make it worse in the summer when it rain, when it grow, because it grow faster, then that's terrible. It's terrible. You say you from Columbia side. We had a flood in 2015, brought in some terrible weeds. Some of those weeds are actually beneficial. They may be. I'll never find out. I'll never find out. Jose wanted to say, you had crabgrass back there? Oh, that's some trash grass. Man, look here, man. Man, after the first time I cut a yard that had some crabgrass and then people went to complaining, I was like, man, I'll start telling niggas, I ain't cutting that. You know what I'm saying? Because they want you to cut it low, but if you cut it too low, the blade hitting in the dirt. Now you want me to tear up my stuff because you got this whack behind grass out here, man. No, that's not terrible. Jose want to say last year they brought flower seeds that took over my whole backyard. I just redid it.
So, but I'll have mercy upon the house of Yehuda, and will save them by Yehuda their Elohim, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen. Now, when she had weaned the Ruhamah, she conceived and bare a son.
Then said,
Elohim, call his name, allow me, for you are not my people.
Now that's also mentioning. Say, yeah, that junk happened. Time of the week, it was stuck in Tallahassee for like 2-3 weeks. My Lord. Now listen, right? You could read in 2 Kings 17. You could read in Hosea. You could read in Jeremiah, if I'm not mistaken. He was like, treacherous Judah offended too. And this is when he said, neither one of you are my people. But verse 10.
Say, yet the number of the children of the Asherah shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, you are not my people, there shall be said unto them, you are the sons of the living God.
Now that's where the John 1 came in at. That he gave you power to become, because now you're not coming back being called the sons of Jacob, the sons of Israel. He said you're going to be coming back being called the sons of the living God. That's a different connotation. 1 John chapter 3 and verse 1.
Behold, what manner of love the Abba hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of Elohim.
That's right.
Therefore the world know us not, because it knew him not. Beloved, now are we the sons of Elohim, and it do not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him.
He say, what manner of love? What?
The Abba hath bestowed upon us,
that we should be called
the sons of Elohim.
What manner of love?
The Abba hath bestowed upon
that
us,
we should be called
the sons of Elohim.
Go ahead.
Therefore the world know us not, because it knew him not.
Now this is important, because this is the next aspect that we're going to come back to, y'all willing, on tomorrow, which will also take us to the part with the corn, wine, and the oil. And that him sowing mercy in the earth. To have mercy on her who didn't obtain mercy, that which was not present of the covenant of which was broken. You know what I'm talking about? Which, of course, this covenant that he's betrothing you to in righteousness, judgment, loving kindness, mercies, and faithfulness, which will allow you to be called the sons of the living Elohim after you were called not my people, which is referring to the Romans 11, actually, with the bringing in to the grafting in, if you would. But we're going to start right there for now because it's 11:30. Hallelujah for Yahushua the word. I appreciate y'all time, and I bless y'all the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. Prayerfully you understood all those things. Working in a few things here and there. What do we focus on? The John 10 and 16. What it looks like to take this man's name in vain. Understanding that he is merciful. I mentioned Acts 5 and 29. Read 5:25. And loving and fearing God more than man. And then, of course, the aspects and the elements of him being the light being left in Jerusalem, why that light was left there, to why the tents of Judah was saved first, and saving Yahushua first, because the temple was rebuilt for Hamashiach, and he is the one who had to end the transgression, make an end of sins, bring in everlasting righteousness, to anoint the most Kadash, to break in reconciliation for iniquity. In turn, so that you could become the sons of Shalom, amen, sister. The living Elohim, that the performance of the betrothal of righteousness, loving kindness, mercies, and faithfulness and judgment may be manifested and known, that the name of Elohim, your Abba, and the name of Yahushua might be esteemed continually, and that your soul might be saved. Acts 5 and 25. Yahuwah. Go ahead.
Then came one and told them, saying, behold, the men of whom you put in prison are standing in the temple and teaching the people. Then went the captain with the officers and brought them without violence, for they feared the people, lest they should have been stoned. And when they had brought them, they set them before the council, and the high priest asked them, saying, did not we straitly command you that you should not teach in this name? And behold, you have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and intend to bring this man's blood upon us. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey Elohim rather than men.
We ought to do what?
Obey Elohim rather than men.
We ought to do what?
Obey Elohim rather than men.
Go ahead.
The Elohim of our fathers raised up Yahushua, whom you slew and hanged on a tree. Him have Elohim exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, but to give repentance to Yasharah and forgiveness of sins.
And the other thing we mentioned is to maintain a good name. You know what I'm saying? Keep your name clean. You dig? But nevertheless, I appreciate y'all, man. I bless y'all the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. Yahuwah willing, man. We'll be back at it on tomorrow. And until that time. All right, y'all. We out of here.